Last supper.
No, trust me.
No.
You might need some.
Need some white lightning in there and get him going, don't we,
That's
Terry?
right. Get some Mountain Dew or something.
Wake that boy up in there.
I don't like Mountain Dew.
All right,
I like
JP, what you
coffee.
do is you go down to right before you get to Wally World, and you take a left. And when you get to Cat Square, ask somebody for some shine.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask Tom how to get there, but he's never been in Lincoln County and Cat Square before, so he don't know. But that's how you get there.
I've never been to Lincoln County. I don't know where it is.
You're about to find out, though, ain't you, Terry?
I was actually there last night for West Lincoln's
Stone County had
11-0 win over East Burke.
Yeah, to enter it on his map quest.
Congratulations to you there, Terry.
Map quest.
Actually, I know how to get up there via Hull Road and Flay Road. I actually know the back way to West Lincoln. I like the back way to West Lincoln. No traffic, nothing but cows out that way, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning to everybody. I've got a little quick special announcement this morning. We will be giving away tickets this morning, to next weekend's Martinsville races. I'm going to give away a 3-race package this morning here at the end of our NASCAR session. We're going to have a question when we come back here in just a few minutes. So you get 2 tickets to the truck race, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series race for Martinsville next weekend. So we're going to give away a 3-race package here in just a few moments. Phone number to call 704-435-2845, and you're going to talk to JP, and we'll get you what to do in a minute. Don't call yet. Just giving the number out so you can get ready. It'll be a few minutes before we do the trivia question, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. So we do have Martinsville Speedway tickets here, and you can also, as we're talking about it, go online and go to the WCSL Facebook page and pull that up, and then what you'll be able to do is log in there, and then if you'll comment there on the NASCAR giveaway that we've got posted there, you can and tell us which races you'd like to go. We're also going to give away tickets through our Facebook page as well. I'm trying to pull that up for the folks at home so they can kind of see what I'm talking about. For the folks listening on the radio, we do broadcast this show every Saturday morning live on YouTube, and you can go back and rewatch the videos. But here's where you go to our Facebook page right here. Comment to win tickets to NASCAR racing in Martinsville. We're giving away tickets to all 3 races on this point. If you can all go to one race, tell us which race you want to go to, or all 3. If you want to go see all 3, just let us know. But that's how you do it. Go to our Facebook page, KTC Broadcasting. WCSL page is where it's at. You can find the links to KTC and others, but that's how you get there. So with that said, Terry, did you enjoy the race last weekend?
Yeah. No. Well, it started off, but then it was over. So,
well, I mean, I did have a few comments from last weekend's race. You talking about Kyle Busch, I guess is what you're talking about there, Terry.
Well, yeah. Do you watch it or do you not? I kind of found other things to do.
What happened to him, Terry?
Well,
Tom, do you know what happened to him?
I do not.
His wheel fell off.
Oh,
Ooh.
That happened to me when I was 16 on the way to Myrtle Beach in my 1978 Camaro.
How fast were you going?
And a guy named Buster Presley in middle of nowhere, South Carolina, actually saw us on the side of the road and took it and got me the wheel bearing I needed and actually fixed my car. I'll never forget that.
So there's little Kyle Busch with his wheel falling off. Didn't have a good day out there.
Wow.
I'm sure he'll find a way to blame NASCAR for that.
There's his wheel.
Look at that thing, man.
There's everything. Now, what's crazy is Terry. Other people had some wheel and tire problems too. How about the pitting in the other pit box? What did you think about that one?
Was that before he wrecked or after?
Well, is that when you quit watching?
Yep. I said,
Oh, my
heck
gosh.
with this.
Christopher Bale. We'll let you watch here. In the pit box, and he doesn't get his right front. Look, right front.
All
top.
yellow, all the way. Are we okay on that left front? He needs to stop in somebody's box. Stop in somebody's box. Stop in a box, stop in a box. Tighten up the left side. Tighten up the left side. One inside. All right.
Man, can you come over here, tighten this for me real quick?
This is
Tighten up the
basically
left
what
down
happened.
there.
You know what I'd have done? I'd have said, "The heck with you! You've won too many races. Go around."
Clear out. Clear out. Don't speed. Don't
Well,
speed. Good job there.
Terry, it's a 2-race penalty and a 2-race suspension for a lot of people if you go out there and your wheel falls off and not by contact. They took a lesser penalty by pitting outside their box on this one. NASCAR has ruled that they will allow this for safety reasons. One of the biggest things that they do not want wheels, tires flying into the stands, and that's one of the biggest no-nos in NASCAR. And so that's really why they jumped in there, is so they didn't get a much larger suspension, Terry. So that's kind of what happened there.
He was already kind of up against the wall last week because he started in the back of the field last week, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's not his pit boss.
Oh,
Right, that's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt him to go around on the edge.
Kevin, I can't.
What can you do with him? I'm just saying, so he didn't fall apart, Terry. They didn't want it to fall off, and then everybody gets suspended.
He wanted to see somebody else besides Kyle Busch without a wheel running around
guess.
out there on the track.
He wouldn't never say anything selfish on this program would he? At all.
Never.
Even at NASCAR, we can't get nothing for him. Well, I do have some comments about Kyle and Mr. Host Car. This is him and Kevin Harvick.
Scenario. I mean, you were pissed at him. I mean, you look at the host of our scenario. I mean, you were pissed at him at Atlanta, and
Right.
And do you reach out to him, or does he reach out to you to try to get better?
Not a word.
Okay, well that one's different. That's a bad example. Well,
And so the Hocevar problem, the biggest problem I have with him is when he was 13, 14 years old, whatever it was, I was racing at one of his home tracks in Michigan.
Now, look what he just said, Tom.
Yeah.
His problem with him goes back to his 13-year-old
When the kid
days.
was 13, and
That's
Kyle
all
Busch
right.
is an adult here.
Yeah.
Somewhere along
Kyle
the
Busch is an
line,
adult in
So
this situation.
just in age only,
Just to
Kevin.
remind
In age
you.
only.
somewhere along the line, you cross that line, and I'm never gonna forgive you, buddy.
Michigan with a super late model while I was a cup
Berlin?
guy. Not Berlin, it was Kalamazoo.
okay.
Lap 8, lap 11, somewhere early in the race. Like, I wasn't that great, but I was going to bide my time, and I was just riding, right? Like,
Yeah.
you ride. He comes right up alongside of me, sideswipes me, puts me in the front stretch fence, and goes on, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Never nothing after the fact, never a sorry, hey, my bad.
Yeah.
And, like, same thing right now. It's just, like, he hasn't learned not one thing because he hasn't been under someone's wing this entire time.
And there you go, Tom. What do you think?
Sounds like a self-centered, selfish,
It's not.
holding grudges. I mean, he's like the man sitting here next to me.
Tom, it was like in Daytona when
I
he
understand
had
why you're a
points.
fan. I
When
understand why
he
you're a
had
fan.
points, and all of a sudden Horsevar just jumps right in front of him, slows him down. Like, why did you do that?
What's illegal about
It
that?
makes no sense.
What's
I'll
illegal
go
about
back to
it?
my normal point with Kyle Busch. The reason he's upset is that the guy did it to him and not vice versa. Because that's exactly, he's just riding and just biding his time. If anybody's just riding in front of him, he's gonna put him in the wall.
He's never done that before at all, right?
Yeah, he's a very clean driver.
You don't think so, Terry?
Look who we talking about. Horsevar.
Right.
He makes Dale Earnhardt look
Your future hero.
He makes Dale Earnhardt look tame.
Him and Ross Chastain's gonna be the new battlers for all the championships here in about a couple years. Got your host far sticker, Terry.
I'm trying to be nice over here.
Be nice. All right. Schedule this weekend is in Vegas.
Taking their talents to South Beach.
Sorry, Homestead, Miami. Josh Berry won last weekend in the 21 Wood Brothers car. Out of Las
Congratulations to
Vegas.
him.
Yep. Yes, sir. Congratulations to him and the whole team and everything that they got to go through as a small team like that. This weekend at Homestead in Miami. We're looking at today's schedule. They'll have Xfinity practice and qualifying 10:30 and 11:30. Let's see if I can pull that up. I might be able to pull it up. There you go. 10:30, 11:30. Cup practice and qualifying is at 1:05 and 2:10, and then the Hard Rock Bet 300 Homestead Miami Xfinity Series race today at 4:00, and then tomorrow. Let's see, and we get that for you. Like I said, for the folks listening on the radio, you can always tune in on YouTube. Go back and watch your favorite segments or watch us live. Straight Talk Wireless 400 tomorrow. The coverage starts at 3 p.m. NASCAR Cup Series. Racing from Homestead. So, Terry, you like Homestead? Is that one of your tracks you do like, don't like?
Homestead's not bad. I can give or take with it. I mean, there are some tracks that I hate, but
Right.
Homestead, I can give it a.
Do you like it being a championship or a regular season?
No.
Okay.
I don't like it being a championship race.
That's what I wanted to kind of zone in on that one.
It's pretty wide. You can run
It
a
is.
couple different areas, couple different lanes on that
and
track.
it's one
can't you?
it's one of them tracks when you get out front, you can lead forever too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next weekend, like we said, is in Martinsville. We're going to give away some tickets here in just a little bit. To that, I want to give away the phone number to get ready for it. Coming up on that 704-435-2845. Martinsville the next weekend, and then the 6th, starting in April, will be Darlington, Bristol, and then Talladega after a week off. I guess that's Easter week, and then April 27th to Talladega is where we'll be in for the month of April. All right. Any other news or comments, or Terry? Anything else you got on NASCAR? I didn't have too much over there.
No.
No?
Kyle Larson's favored to win this weekend, followed by Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Christopher Bell.
All right, so I do have a couple. Any favorites, guys, to pick in this one then, Terry? Tom? I know you like to pick one.
I
on your
usually
favorites like
try to check out my betting apps and just kind of gauge who I'm going to put my money on, which I don't know anything about.
Kyle Larson's
But
plus 400.
and I'm usually like a Carl. Larson is usually like, okay, he's always got a chance. But I think I'm going to put a small wager on Christopher Bell.
Yeah, I'd pick Bell right now. He seems to be the guy to when they don't start him in the back of the field.
A small, relatively unresearched wagers are the most fun. They're kind of like lottery tickets.
Now, I don't have any notes other than it just says from the top rope. But this is from racing this past weekend. I don't know where this is at, who this is, what happened. But there is a fence here. I know you probably can't see between the folks there on the sidewalk and the actual cars. So we're going to do a little play-by-play. Tom, you want to handle the play-by-play on this one?
I'll try, Kevin.
We'll have a little fun NASCAR
I really enjoy the NASCAR coverage on TV. I've never done. I mean, not
I'm not
on
sure
the
you
radio.
need to know much about racing for this one, Tom.
All right.
On the back straightaway, something's going on in the back straightaway.
Something's going on in the back straightaway.
I'll just let
I'm
him
not sure
handle
what it is. And we've got people climbing the fences.
Oh, y'all didn't see it.
No.
The zoom in caught that. Let me readjust on that one.
Okay. I'm not commentating the cars. I'm commentating the spectators.
Correct. So I got to resume on that one for Tom. I was looking over here on my screen.
That's
All right,
okay.
now we got Tom set. All right, so we're watching the car in the black is what we're gonna watch.
Okay.
Something going on
It's on the
in
right.
the back on the back straightaway.
Seem to be upset about something. He's walking up to the vehicle and he's accosted by a fan.
All right, so check out the guy who just went over the fence. So Roddy Piper or whatever you want to call him over here.
And he just flips over the fence and
Yeah.
did his pants come off? No.
No, I told you the wrong guy. All right, just watch the black car. Black car. Sorry.
Watch the black
Right now.
All right. And he basically came off the top rope and gave the people's elbow to the
Like he hurt something.
That was
He did it in his hood, Terry.
Macho Man flying elbow to the hood.
Let's see.
That's
again.
something, man. Here he goes. Elbow
Oh,
drop.
and then he gets a punch in the back of the
Oh,
head.
there we
yeah,
go.
then it all breaks loose.
Oh, man.
So we'll see the elbow drop. Here you go. Here it
Small
comes.
town racing.
But now watch this. He gets up, and after that, he gets punched in the back of the head. Boom!
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
And this video here is why I often just stay home.
All right, Terry. We'll go to the announcer.
Going on in the back on the back straightaway. Something's going on in the back straightaway.
Oh, they going
Thank you for clearing early tonight in this one. We got people jumping on the top of Brandon Risley's race car on the back straightaway, and they are just brawling down the backstretch right now. My goodness, guys, why can't we be friends?
That was the sound of his hood.
Yeah. Correct.
Welcome back to Lake County Speedway.tv. You see the massive guys jumping on the top of. We got people jumping on.
Let's hear it.
No.
So that's your update from the local tracks for Tom this week. I know that's his favorite part of the show every week. We had Bowman Gray a couple weeks ago. But all right, a little quick golf news here for Chip. Trying to find the shot that I saw the other day. It was a good one. But what's going? They're at the PGA this week, right?
Valspar.
Okay.
This weekend.
And a little bit what's going on with that one as I find this.
They're at the Snake Pit. Trying to see where.
What is the Snake Pit?
It's it's a portion of the course, like a 3-hole stretch of the course.
Oh,
It's
okay.
challenging.
Like Amen Corner type.
To kind of sort of, yeah. That's the.
All right, so you
tagline.
had a name for Terry's thing the other day. I think I found what you were looking for. What was it called?
The swap and miss.
The swap and miss.
Yeah.
This is Ian Poulter, and this is
Pultz.
about as close. as I can
Bizarre
get to
happening
whatever
here
we
at the
were
fourth earlier today. Ian Poulter, birdie putt.
He just walked.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't hit it easy enough. I mean, there's no way. I'm sure he couldn't believe the ball stopped there in the first place. Now watch this. Goes to mark the ball and kind of swipe at it to pick it up, and he loses it, and it goes in the water. Now the bottom line is he has got to find that ball.
Yes.
He has got to finish the hole with that ball, or he's assessed a 2-stroke penalty. Now that is his physical therapist, Cam Barbara, who he elicits to go into the lake, find the ball. Poulter identifies it, says, "Thank you." I'm sure Cam's walking around in some wet pants, but
So is that what you're talking about?
That's a different topic.
The swipe and miss.
Yeah, that's the swap and miss.
So exactly, you like that rule that you have to, can't just like accidentally do that,
They've
or,
got
or,
some
or pick a ball out of your change your ball.
arcane rules, and you
Well-
got to finish out and play your own ball.
Well,
A golf ball's a golf ball.
Well, that brought up a rule this week. I don't know if you saw this, the sprinkler head rule.
Right-handed golfer, and there's a tree trunk, and the ball is on the tree trunk on the right side of this tree trunk. Now, even further right of that is a walkway, a path. This rule is basically saying if you approach this ball and you're a right-handed golfer and you decide to hit it left-handed, so you're like, the only way I can really make contact with this is to take my club upside down and knock it out left-handed. Now, if your stance hitting left-handed is standing on the cart path, you can now move that ball to the other side, right? No closer to the hole, but further away from the cart path, to the other side of the trunk where now you drop the ball and you can now take a perfectly clean right-handed swing. So because you decided to hit this trick shot, now my ball is in a spot where my feet are on the concrete. I can now move it to a perfectly flat spot and hit a right-handed shot, knock a ball onto the green with a punch shot, and then we move on. Where is the line with that? Can you start being like, oh, I want to do this left-handed because I'm next to a bush, but now I'm standing on a sprinkler head. Can I move it all the way back? You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't really know that either. I didn't know the aspect of it that you could take relief and then just take a normal shot from there. I thought you would have to, like, I don't know, take relief, but then still try to play the shot that you were going to try to play. And then if that's the shot that gets you relief, then you could take relief and end up in a great spot. But that's a great example because I do think a lot of people with the rules are like, oh, this guy nags about the rules, meaning that like he's trying to screw me. I think if you do know the rules, they usually help you a lot more than they hurt you.
So that brought up this week on the tour. Did you see whose name it was? The sprinkler head. I'm gonna try to get his name. So he had a drop situation where his ball was on the sprinkler, but he was in the rough. So he drops his ball on another sprinkler.
Oh, it's J.J. Spawn. That's the guy who Rory beat at the Players last weekend.
And then moves into the fairway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was in the rough, did a drop on another sprinkler head, and ended up into the fairway.
Yep.
So thoughts on that one there, Chip?
Taking advantage of the rules.
That's what Phil Mickelson said was taking advantage of knowing the rules. But
Jordan Spieth's the king of it. Spieth has done it quite a bit, or I say it's a couple of times where he's under ground under repair. He's near ground under repair because Jordan sometimes sprays out his drives. Not the most accurate driver. So, but so he gets a drop from the ground under repair, but he'll find a sprinkler head. He'll find somewhere where his stance is on a car path. Anything where you're involving a man-made obstruction, you get further relief from it. And I mean, watch his win at the Open Championship is a perfect example. I mean, it was like a 30 when he sprayed his drive on number 12. It looked like he was out of it, and he got relief because of an obstruction. Ended up taking a drop on a flat level on the driving range.
Yeah,
and had a beautiful shot, made a recovery shot, and it was kind of where he looked like he was dead. That hole ended up, I don't know if he saved par, but it ended up could be a double, triple bogey. He ended up making par or bogey, and then the next hole he went like birdie eagle to come back and win the Open Championship.
I do have exclusive video of Tom's last round on the range here. We'll take a look at this video. Check out this swing.
He wasn't pleased.
And see ya.
Give me the track man on that club.
Well, Chip, I'm glad you asked because we may have that. So that was Thigala. How you say it? Thigala?
Thigala.
Let's see if I got sound on it.
Thigala, our tracer technology track man.
That's not a penalty for throwing your club.
No, it's not. As long as you don't hit anybody.
It's not in the rules, Tom.
Yeah, that's that part.
The rules are for you, not against you.
See, but
so I do have the TrackMan on that.
There you go.
Here you go.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm not necessarily opposed to what Tom says because I mean we just talked about how arcane some of the rules are and it's supposed to be a sport of etiquette.
But my thing is it's just like anything else. Like in baseball, if you know that you don't have to be in the runner's lane till 45 feet, you can get in the way of that catcher throwing a first base on a bunt.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things that if you know, you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like golf seems to be the equivalent of baseball in that there's so many like little rules that a lot of people don't know that if you do know, you can work it to your advantage. So I don't blame them from knowing that, but it's like a lot of games need, if your game's 100 and some years old, you might need to say, okay, it's time to reevaluate. It's not a big deal if he puts down a different ball and putts with it.
Well, yes and no. It can't because I understand your point of golf ball's a golf ball, but putting probably not necessarily as big of a deal, but when you get to the level that these guys are, there is a difference in like what their swing and what they can do and how a ball reacts to their swing.
What I'm saying is if I've got a sleeve of Titleist golf balls and they're all the same, they're all the same.
If they're all the same.
If that happens, I'm going to use another one of the same identical make, model, everything's the same. So, okay, well, this particular ball runs a little more than this particular ball on the green because it's made different. That way you can't do that.
Right.
So
that's the concern.
Like saying, I don't even know. Like when I was a kid, it was DT Titleist. All right, I am playing DT Titleist, and if if something happens, I'm going to put another one.
Sorry,
something stupid like that happens. I'm going to put the identical, and I'm not gaining an advantage.
Right. But there's a problem with being able to enforce if you switch out the ball, are you actually playing the exact same kind?
Is this the shot?
Well, I just said you'd have the sleeve of them. These are mine.
But like,
this is what I'm playing.
But like if you're in I'm saying that's going by the honor code because nobody's watching you if you're actually using the same sleeve.
Well, you would have to. Surely you would just declare that, and you would show whoever's enforcing the rules, Tom is playing with these, and then if you check them, it's like, okay, well, he's not playing with these. He's assessed a two-stroke.
Right. And I don't think they actually show them the brand they're playing before they tee off.
They should though. If they did, that would take care of that.
You don't declare your ball.
You'll identify.
You have to put your mark on it.
You identify the make and the number normally. It's like I'm playing Titleist 3, but I don't think they show them. I don't think they tell them I'm playing a Pro V1.
And they have to have their mark with their Sharpie, do they not?
They don't have to, but they can. It can help them identify it.
Okay. All right. So, is this the shot of the tournament or the worst shot of the tournament?
You don't like that reaction. Worst shot of the tournament. We're going to stay up.
Try one more time. Give you a little bit. So for the folks at home, the ball comes off the green, off the rough, and it ends up on the wood
ledge,
planks,
of the pond. And how far y'all expect that rolls? There's at least 8 feet, I guess.
about 10 feet,
maybe
yeah.
down the wood before.
Couldn't do it again if you tried.
Nope.
All right, folks. Any other news and notes, guys, on NASCAR or golf or anything before we come back and talk about this NCAA tournament basketball?
Man, Chip is about 3 weeks away from his big trip. Or you're going down a week earlier.
2 weeks. I had out 2 weeks from yesterday.
So how long will you be gone?
I'll be gone 2 weekends. I'll leave Friday the 5th
of April.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll be helping. No, I'm sorry, Friday the 4th. And then Saturday the 5th, I'll be helping with the final round of the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Sunday, I'll be helping out with the by helping, I mean volunteering. Sunday, I'll be volunteering to help with the drive, chip, and putt, the Children's Championship. And then Monday, April the 7th through Sunday, April the 13th, we do practice rounds, and then the tournament starts for the tradition unlike any other, the Masters.
All right, we'll have fun.
All right, so I was thinking about this, and I forgot about it. We're not going to do trivia. We're going to just have you call in and get a number caller. Mm-hmm. But, and the reason is that everybody just does the Google on that now. If you put a trivia question, it cheats out there. So, the third caller during the break, once we go to commercials, that calls JP and tells him that you love him and hope he feels better. The third caller that calls JP today will win 3 sets of NASCAR tickets for the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series next weekend in Martinsville. So, once we go to commercial, I'm going to say we'll be back in a minute on KTCBroadcasting.com. You'll hear commercials. That's when you can call 704-435-2845.
Caller number 3.
704-435-2845. The third caller that calls and tells JP you love him and hope he feels better today will receive a super pack of NASCAR tickets for next weekend in Martinsville.
Is there a specific reason you chose number 3 for NASCAR tickets?
I don't want to count. I don't want to count any higher than that.
Oh, well.
That might be all the viewers we got, so we're going to go with that one.
Caller number Earnhardt.
So Tom's wife will call, and then JP's mom will call, and then somebody will call because she's good. Then somebody's going to call.
Lindsay,
JP.
wake up. Call in.
All right. When we come back, we will talk. That doesn't count if you're calling because I haven't said it yet.
Yeah.
Better hang up if that's what you're calling for.
Wait for it.
Got to wait for it. I have not sent it to commercial yet, but I got to wait till JP hangs up so there's no cheating going on. Here, JP, he's not feeling too good today. Yeah. But anyway, the number is 704-435-2845. We're going to give away some NASCAR Cup tickets here in just a second as soon as JP gets off the line to free it up for you folks at home. Maybe not. Maybe not.
There you go.
Maybe. All right, JP's off the line. When we come back, we're going to talk the NCAA tournament. We're going to start off. We're going to argue about seeding and other things like that on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Green flag is in the air. We are off and at it.
Heads to South Florida.
Trouble turn 3. Ty Gibbs flies into the outside wall hard.
For a high-speed battle around Homestead Miami Speedway.
3 wide coming to the line. Contact. And Christopher Bell has won his 3rd consecutive race in the NASCAR Cup Series.
It's the Straight Talk Wireless 400.
Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Hey, I'm Cody Martin. Here's Charlotte Hornets basketball on Carolina Country. WCSL 92.9 FM and 1590 AM. And online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had some chicks, E-I-E-I-O. With a tick, tick here and a tick, tick there. Here a tick, there a tick, everywhere a tick, tick. Old MacDonald.
If old MacDonald had a farm today, he'd have a Coyote tractor on it for sure. Test drive one at your local Coyote dealer.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 intersection west in Vail.
Now's the time to get a great deal on the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. Professional grade mowers, durable Sidekick utility vehicles, and versatile compact tractors. It's the equipment you need to take care of your land. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months, or save up to $2,800.
Your Kubota dealer in this area is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain. Apples for apples, oranges for oranges. Everybody else's price is beat at Marburger Chevrolet in Shelby. Marburger Chevrolet will beat any price on any new car with same trail level. Shop around and compare, and you'll be right on the way in your new Chevrolet. Select new Chevy models now, 0.9% APR financing for 60 months, plus no payments till June. Coming in for all the details. Everybody else's price is beat from Marburger Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at marburgerchevy.net. Dodge Performance Days are underway at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Come on in and get big performance. Lease a new 2025 Dodge Durango GT for $439 per month for 42 months. $39.99 total due at lease signing. No security deposit required. And just announced, lease a 2024 Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. Come on in for all the details at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, all during Dodge Performance Days.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. And why Kevin has this. Okay. All right, good. All right. I don't know. There's something weird on the computer. That's all. Okay.
Hey, we got a winner, Johnny Stamey. He's going to Martinsville. Congratulations, Johnny Stamey.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll go get those tickets.
Thank you for listening.
Emailed out to you. Now, folks, just because you didn't win here doesn't mean you can't win online. Go to our WCSL excuse me, Facebook page. And trying to swallow my strawberry banana smoothie here from McDonald's we got this morning, our sponsor here on Saturday Sports Talk. Go to our WCSL Facebook page, and you can sign up there to win some more tickets there. Just comment on which race you'd like to go to. We're going to have a drawing on Tuesday and then give those out. So now we're going to talk and then start the arguments. Since we've had a few days, you know, we Saturday, we didn't get to see the brackets to talk about any of it, how it's going to go out, and how the seeding's going out. And that was a big talk this week about who should be seeded what and who got what and how many teams should be where. And then, of course, we've got 4 days now of games to talk about, and we can kind of look back on what some of these folks have said or what we thought and other folks have said. And we got all kinds of situations, but we're going to start here in of course, our ACC country and how these things go. And I'm going to go all the way back to the seed.
We're in California?
Yeah, Stanford. Yeah,
didn't realize that.
Who's is it Stanford and who is it?
Cal, Stanford.
Is it Cal, Stanford?
Yeah.
UCLA.
SMU.
So
UCLA,
if you remember, was it last year in football, not this past season, but the year before, Florida State was not allowed into the playoffs because their quarterback was hurt, right? Ain't that what the committee said?
Yeah.
Well, this time, the committee says what we understand from communication with Duke and the ACC is that Cooper Flag will be available for the tournament. So don't expect that to impact their seeding at all. So, however, whatever you want to get that from, could Florida State could simply have just claimed that the kid was going to play, and how they have handled that?
I think it's stupid anyway. I mean, if you won the games, you won the games. It doesn't matter if
who's still on the team, right?
Does
that matter?
Like in the NFL, if your quarterback, if you're 15-0 or 16-0, and your quarterback gets hurt, you're still the number 1 seed.
Well, that's what I was about to say. If in '82 Jordan sprains his ankle in round 1 or in the ACC championship game, and then they seed him, they don't say, well, he's a 10 seed now. They still get the 34-0 or whatever it was. You know, I know they weren't. I'm just saying as an example. Like, is that what they're trying to say here? Is that
it's just beyond stupid?
There's no explanation of whatever college does is the easiest thing to say, Tom.
I mean, I just don't. I just don't understand this calculus. It's like if you win, you win. Like if somebody gets hurt, it's not like those wins don't count. I mean, I don't get it. It's like if you qualified for the tournament with a 32 and whatever your record
Correct.
is, then that's where you're seeded. Well, you don't have your best player. Well, we won this many games. We're not going to say, now that you don't have this player, we reckon you're only this good. I mean, you haven't even seen the other guy come in and play yet. You don't even, sometimes, you have a different dynamic and it makes you worse in some ways and better in others. You don't know. So if you won the games, it gives you the seed. I don't understand. Like, if Florida State won the games, then they deserve to be in the in the playoff. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So that brings up this this whole quad one talk we've been talking about all year, and how teams or how we're supposed to look at that. The NCAA tournament committee uses 7 different metrics to pick the teams. The quads is one of the 7. Of the 3, 6, 8 teams that were on the bubbles per se, Carolina was actually number 1 in all 6 of the other 7 rankings the NCAA uses. So for the folks wondering about how they come up with that, and besides of course, the Bubba Cunningham connection and him getting a bonus with Carolina making the tournament, I'll let Terry, the resident NC State fan, get his ideas and thoughts on that situation. Was there something fishy going on, Terry, or is that metric right there explain why they're in the tournament?
That's a good question.
Their non-conference strength of schedule was 5th. And I think that was the deciding fact. Like, when you heard the people talk about why did we let Carolina in the tournament, that's what they brought up. You went outside your conference and played up because
and they beat San Diego State by a crap ton, and they had the 7th hardest strength of schedule.
I believe Terry has some thoughts on this.
Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
Terry was talking, I guess. I mean, I don't know. All I know is they come in and they say Carolina's your number 68 team. Well, my whole figure with all of that was Carolina proved to San Diego we're not the 68th best team in this tournament.
At least number 67.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and I have a hard time anyway because when you have them games and it's 11 versus 11, so you're not number 68. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to be 68, then you're a 16 seed somewhere along that line. So I don't understand where they come from and how they vote. And I even told Carolina fans yesterday, I hope you win for the ACC. You know, but then Carolina comes out and plays like they did at the very start of the year where they couldn't hit a shot.
It was the ACC championship all over again.
Oh,
the second half was phenomenal. The second half was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, let me get through some of this, some of the seeding stuff real quick, and then we'll get into some of the games and other things. As far as let's see, good tournament race funds. Add one. Oh, this is a good point I wanted to make, Tom. Here you go. We hear all the time that schools can't function without a football program. Well, there's 16 schools in the tournament without a football program functioning nice and well in the basketball universe. So when you hear a coach or athletic director say something about that, we didn't sell enough hot dogs at the football game, remind them that 16 of the 68 teams did make the NCAA tournament.
Football costs a tremendous amount.
And when you look at those, there was Creighton, there was St. John's, and Xavier. They do very well in basketball.
As far as the seeding and picking teams, guys, you know, when you got these mid-major upsets. We had one last night, and if they would have lost in their conference championship game, they wouldn't have been in it in the tournament. With as many teams as we have, should there be a minimum and a maximum to the number of teams allowed into a tournament? Like, you know, again, we've talked before, how are you in the tournament with a losing record in your conference? Or just should you be over, 500 or should you have, or whatever the rules is, what do you think that is? Should there be a minimum or maximum on either one of those?
I don't think there should be, because I think when you play your tournament, it determines that
every
team.
Every conference got 2 teams. Would that be a problem?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
Why?
I just think it would.
It's only 2 teams.
Well,
I'm just going to pull up a couple.
Well,
just
then
to
that
look.
means they're how many are they? 30 conferences.
Well, that's what I was wanting to look at first.
I think there's 30 automatic bids.
It's not just Power 4, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's 30 automatic bids that go through. So that would be 60.
Yeah, I mean, that's your.
And then so you'd only pick 8 more. That would hurt the SEC. Or them 8 coming out of the SEC all at once.
Kevin's still scrolling.
29.
Yeah, 29.
29.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can pretty much fill out the whole tournament.
31. Okay. Well, should there be a maximum?
Hey, but it would take all the
a percentage of your league. Should it be like
I have
you
a hard
can't have more
time.
than 50% of your league in the tournament?
Here's
if you
your
can't
deal.
make because here's and I'll say real quick, Terry.
Yeah.
If you can't make definitely the top 10 in your own tournament, if you're in your own league, what gives you the right to say I can make the Final Four or should have a right to play in a Final Four in this country?
You gotta be careful with that argument though, because you can start making the same thing about any of the smaller mid-major conferences in the country.
They should be in.
They're not
going to win it.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
There should
There's
only be 32
only-
teams in this joker if you want the truth.
They down to 32 teams. There's only 4 teams that's ranked 10th or lower.
About this year has been it's been gone by the seeding pretty much a whole lot more than it's been
there's
in
only
recent
4.
years.
Lots of chalk.
But
Yes.
for the
Thank
SEC,
you. That's the term.
SEC, they're 8-6. They had 14 out of their 16 teams that got in it. Texas eliminated in the play-in game. Missouri, Georgia, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma all have been eliminated from this tournament. So they've got 8 teams still left. I mean, the ACC would love to have 8 teams still in it.
I'm gonna make an argument, and I don't know, and it's not gonna be a very popular argument, especially with two of y'all in here.
Terrible idea.
Thank you.
Gotta hear it.
The Big East used to be one of the most dominant, probably one or two dominant basketball conferences in the country.
It still is.
It's not. It does not have the prowess it used to have, and I dare say the ACC is going the same direction.
I guarantee they got more teams in it right now than ACC does.
Well,
for sure.
Yeah.
And probably as many as the SEC almost. Still in it.
I think one thing that with it they need to look at, the tournament committees, big time, that's not a factor, is your away records. You can easily look at this, and you're going to be playing on the road. You're going to be living in a hotel. So no Missouri, no Georgia, no Vanderbilt, no Oklahoma, no Texas. All y'all losing records on the road, and you're under 500 in the SEC. Goodbye. Missouri, you got to I just still don't let more than half the league in.
Here's my deal, and when you want to talk about the Big East, Creighton.
Yeah.
You saying they're not should be there? Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, Creighton's gonna beat Auburn today. So there's one.
No, they're not.
Oh yeah, they'll beat them to death.
Here we go.
Okay, now I'm getting out my betting out.
St. John's against Arkansas.
St. John's has had a very good year.
Yeah,
Yes.
St. John's is very good.
Yeah.
Can they go on? I mean, you start looking at the
St.
Big
John's will make a decent run, but they don't have the consistent offensive firepower. Rick Pitino has turned that team into an elite
Tom,
defensive team.
Explain the Big East. I mean, the Big Ten seeding.
Yeah, I know. I know. But you have to look at their strength. They do take their non-conference strength of schedule into consideration, Kevin, and it's just not – you're not showing me that. So if that is a major contributor, and I think it is, like you showed the metrics, like 7 or 8 metrics they use.
Right.
I think their non-conference strength of schedule probably is the number one metric they look at outside of what conference did you play in, right? Yeah. Are you playing, the School of the Deaf and the Blind, or are you going out and playing St. John's?
And how are you
non-conference?
performing?
Are you playing Creighton non-conference?
How are you performing against them?
Right, and how are you playing against them? Because are you just trying to pad your wins, or are you going out and playing somebody? So I think since that has a lot of weight to it, and Kevin makes a good point with the conference records. I would modify his a little.
7-0.
What's that?
Big Ten,
yeah.
7-0.
I mean, they've played well so far, but I mean, they've had higher seeds too. What I mean? They've been higher seeds.
What's that got to do with anything?
You're playing weaker competition if you're a higher seed, Terry.
I know that, but I mean,
that's what it's got to do.
I just think if you had a losing record and you win your conference championship like State did, that's fine. You earned your way in, but not just hey, we're going to let you in.
What I would say is to eliminate, instead of that 50% rule, let's eliminate everyone without a winning record in their conference.
That's fine.
That's what I would say.
You start there.
and then you go from there.
There you go. My map of the week. Tom loves my maps. 100% of national champions since '97.
Worked with the Super Bowl.
Have located pretty much east of Dallas, Texas, for the most part.
Even though a lot of the people are moving west.
So if you're betting on a champion, Tom,
I took St. John's in both my.
There you go.
brackets.
As long as you're east of that line. All right, 96% of national championships 2001 had a top 21 Ken Palm. 91% of champions had a 31 Ken Palm. Defense, the first one was offense. These are the 9 teams that currently fit that criteria.
Yeah.
If you pick the national champion of Michigan, Purdue, Houston, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, Arizona, Auburn, or Duke, you fit those categories. Chip, what do you think about that?
Yeah,
I'm pulling for Arizona.
I'd like Izzo to get one more championship.
Pulling for Caleb Love, baby. Can you put Duke out in this?
I'd love for Caleb Love to put Duke. that'd be very fitting.
Can he? I think he can.
But we, I worry, and this, I worry that this might be an alarmist.
Is he in the same bracket, or is he
Yeah,
be in the
they're in
Final
the
Four?
same bracket. If both of them win, they play each other.
Oh, just next the next
The next one.
There you go.
That'll not happen.
I'll become an Arizona fan that day. That's for sure.
That will not happen.
He's going to try to score 40, Terry.
I-
He might not.
I
He's gonna try to score
apologize.
40.
I apologize that this is alarmist, but I'm concerned about the. I hate to use the term downfall, but
Tom, who'd you
the
say you
ACC's
picked?
past its peak.
No, it's
St.
not.
John's?
I
Yeah.
did pick
You're not
St.
gonna like this
Right
stat.
now, the A's. I'm gonna tell you what's happening, and people can sit back all they want because it all changes next year. That's when the ACC will become back elite, because right now the SEC is using all that money that they got for football to go get basketball players to make their whole teams better.
How is that going to change next year?
It will, because everything's become stationary across the board. There's a cap that you're going to have.
You think the cap's going to help?
Oh,
with it?
yes, it will. And people ain't going to go down there to the football conferences to dadgum play basketball. They're not going to stay there.
Terry, they've been doing it. They're doing it for the past decade. I mean, Sankey has reinvested, and you got to remember. And then we talked about
But
this.
all of a sudden, the money's not there. So Duke and Carolina and State can give you the same amount of money that them people.
But
are
they
giving.
can't give you the same. They can't give you the same experience, because all the SEC,
Oh, yeah.
all
They
the
give you
SEC
the
schools
same.
are going to do, with the exception of Carolina and Duke, all the SEC schools are going to do is they're going to take the money that they're getting off of their football revenue, reinvest that into. It's not going to go to the player directly. It's going to go into the program. It's going to go into the extracurricular benefits that those students get, the food, the facilities, all
They'll
those.
not be able to withstand it. I just
They've
don't
been
think
whipping the ACC for the past decade doing that.
No,
Tom, we're going to read my stat of the day that affects your gambling habits.
My gambling habits aren't that bad. Although I wasn't going to really get on my betting app and do anything, but then you guys talked about this so much, and then his incredibly stupid comment just made me play a parlay, and I laid the 9.5 points. Not only do I
He's
gave
not
the
referring to my
points.
stupid comments.
I gave the points. I'm like, let's go ahead and win some money here. Whatever Terry says, destroyed or something of that nature.
Creighton's going to annihilate.
So
Auburn
do you want
today.
Now, Terry, in the
do you
same
want to make
sentence-
do you want to make another?
Wait a minute.
do you
In the
want
same
to-
sentence, he said he didn't have a gambling problem, and then he said he just bet in the middle of the night. He was talking on a TV show.
In the midst of a show. In the midst of the show.
I don't have a gambling problem.
Tom, step one is admitting that there's an issue.
I don't have a gambling problem.
At 8:15, you got to get that betting.
I just want to know.
He's itching.
I just want to know why you think that Creighton will destroy Auburn. Why?
Why do you think that Auburn? Why does everybody that comes in this room think Auburn's so great?
They played in a
They're
tough conference
good.
all year.
Barkley's
They're
the
good.
head
They
Okay,
played in a
they're
tough
good,
conference.
but you got Broome. It's going to be equally matched against the big guy from Creighton. Creighton's the guy 7'3", and he can play. He's been there he beat State 3 years ago. Because State couldn't stop him.
Auburn's more than one player. They're not.
know.
This isn't Purdue with Zach Edey.
Have you
okay?
seen Creighton
So
play?
because 3 years ago NC State couldn't beat them, they're going to beat Auburn today.
Whatever three that Auburn can do, they better muscle them to death. That's the only way, because you're not going to beat them from the 3-point line. Creighton's a better 3-pointing team than Auburn is.
So JP's on his betting app too.
I mean,
All right, so
Okay.
no,
I don't waste my money.
I guarantee you that you do.
Hey.
No top 2 seed that started the season unranked has ever made the Final Four. St. John's,
but,
Tom.
You know, Patino. Would
St.
cheat.
John's is sitting down there.
You know, Patino's going to cheat his way there. Come on.
And Michigan State.
He's going to cheat.
Well, he'll have a hard time getting through today.
He's playing Calipari today, isn't he?
Yeah.
The cheaters come.
Yeah,
there.
That's it. Arkansas against St. John's.
We give Italians a bad name.
The ego bowl.
So here's the selection committee math where the ACC used to have 9 teams. And we'd get in, 6, 7, or 8 teams in it, Terry. Now we got 16. We can't get in before.
Yeah.
How about Kentucky, 2013, 21-11, 12-6 in the SEC, missed the tournament. This year's Kentucky, same record. Worst record in the SEC, 3 seed.
Wow. Times have changed.
Yep.
But here you go, Tom. The Big Ten can prove that the SEC is no good when they play Illinois' highest scoring team in college basketball.
Yeah.
So can Kentucky keep up with them?
I'm hoping I'm wrong, Terry, because last year we had similar conversations. Then what ended up happening? The ACC had 3 or 4 teams in the Elite Eight, 2 teams in the Final Four. But this year, with the exception of the Duke Blue Devils, ACC dropped an egg. The
ACC was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the first one to say that.
Why do you guys always screw up the egg analogy?
Sorry.
You don't drop an egg. You lay an egg.
Lay an egg. Sorry.
Kevin, they always screw up the egg analogy.
My bad. My apologies.
I just don't understand.
They ain't got enough cousins of chicken coops.
I guess they don't.
Yeah. So my fault.
Tom's had chickens. My family's had chickens. I don't know about
y'all.
Yeah,
I wish I had them now.
I know, right?
Where's that
at?
Let's bet on every one of these games.
Don't get Tom hot.
Terry doesn't know how to download apps on his phone.
He's writing out the parlays on his paper.
Because
like
Tom,
he's supposed to.
It's all about making Tom look bad.
So are we going to bet on the Creighton Auburn game?
No, we're going to bet on every game.
Are we going to bet on the
There's 16 games here, right?
Are we going to bet on the Creighton Auburn game?
Yeah.
Did y'all know that Kansas has been the #1 preseason team 5 times and has never made the Sweet 16?
This is the worst Kansas has ever come in.
Well, they're not there anymore.
I know.
They dropped an egg yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. This was,
They dropped an egg.
They dropped an egg.
15 of the last 16 national champions. Now this is what Tom liked. These are my kind of stats. 15 of the 16 last national champions scored an odd number of points in round 1 of the tournament. So it's good news for you Houston and Alabama fans. Y'all scored an even number of points.
I'm not even going to respond.
The man who just went and pulled his gambling application out in his pocket while sitting next to Terry.
We were talking about the game.
15 of 16.
We
Tom.
were talking about
That's a good percentage.
games.
That's a good percentage.
And you're talking about some oddball
This
point
is
stat.
in-depth knowledge. Kevin is just feeding you. He's putting it on a platter, Tom.
No.
15 of the last 16 national champions. You should have seen me before.
I just listened to who Terry picks, and I just picked the opposite. So I
just got through saying we was going to bet on all these games, Tom. and then we're going to see who's okay when we're done.
All right, let me pull up my bracket.
I'll pull the whole bracket up.
I got it right here. Auburn and Creighton to start.
Hold on, we'll do it. We'll give it a sec. All right. Have y'all looked into this West Virginia, Indiana situation?
No.
Do y'all know anything about what's going on?
Heard they hired
I know he's the coach that went now to Indiana.
So, the big argument, Carolina was up against West Virginia for the last spot, apparently. The West Virginia fans are up in arms. The governor has sued the NCAA. But there's a conspiracy afoot with the coach and his son, who played in November 27th through the 29th, last fall, the Battle of Atlantis. West Virginia and Indiana played there. 1 week later, his son and best player on his team, or second best player on his team, has exploratory arthroscopic surgery in his shoulder and is out for the season. As soon as the season ends, player hits the portal along with his dad, and they both are now Indiana Hoosiers. Tommy, was there treachery afoot?
It might have been.
In Indiana.
The stars kind of line up.
Darian DeVries and his son And, of course, Jay Billis reminds you the portal is always open for the coaches.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
what Kevin Keats said. Portal's open.
That's what NC State told Kevin Keats.
So what do you think about that, Tom?
Well, it definitely smells a little fishy, doesn't it?
Son out for the season the next week, which saved his 5th and last season.
Right, so he could play.
So it's not like he's a freshman. He saved his season so he could go with his dad to Indiana. Because if not, he just spends his last season in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
Done. Done.
Does it make a difference? You can do whatever nowadays.
Well, Terry, that's a very good point. And thank you for approving of everything.
Well.
All right, Terry, you want to bet on some games, Terry?
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess
bet.
he wants to bet on some games. I don't know how you.
I'm taking Creighton.
We're
I'm
very well
taking-
aware of that.
I'm taking Auburn.
All right, we're gonna start at the top. So Auburn and Creighton, 7 p.m. today. Chip.
Creighton rolls.
Chip.
Thank you, Terry. Give me Auburn.
Auburn.
You going Auburn?
Yes.
Okay, that's where all y'all fall.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for the warning.
2 schools that can't beat Appalachian State in football, Michigan and Texas A&M, square off in a basketball game, boys. The Wolverines and this Yale squad. Terry, who got in that one?
Michigan.
Yeah, I got Michigan.
I'm gonna take A&M.
I think I'm going to say that I've never seen Texas A&M play basketball in my life. I'll go with Michigan on that one. This one's been bothering me as far as, you know, how the North Carolina Athletic Association likes to, you know, make up brackets weirdly. Why can't we call Mississippi Mississippi? That's their name, not their nickname. Nobody else gets their nickname on there.
Ole Miss. No, they don't put the Ohio State on there.
And it's Ole Miss, by the way.
Actually, the official name
Ole
of
Miss.
Ohio State is the Ohio.
But they don't put it on a bracket.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's
like,
Ole Miss is not the official name.
Why don't they just write Mississippi? It's not confusing.
Because they're trying to hide who they are.
Yeah, okay.
They don't have the best reputation.
Well, they're at Iowa State. I showed you that chart a minute ago. Iowa State's one of those teams that fit those KenPom rankings.
I'm taking Iowa State.
I'll take my advanced stats, even though Tom don't like them. And they scored an even number of points in the first round. Tom's the national champion.
Your
They can
sabermetrics.
sit 15 to 16.
Your sabermetrics. Mike Trout plays for Iowa State.
You taking
Kevin.
Iowa State, Kevin?
Yeah. The metrics work out.
I'm taking the University of Mississippi.
Iowa State's got a better war than Ole Miss on this one.
Yeah, I think Mike Trout is going to play basketball for
I
Iowa
still
State.
don't know how you guys don't fill out brackets. I mean, you're on a sports show, for crying out loud. You guys don't fill out brackets.
New Mexico at
on.
Michigan State. Or not at Michigan State versus Michigan State. Michigan State's favored by 7.5 in this one. Sparty's for me.
Yeah, I mean, Izzo's my
Yeah,
my
Michigan
dark horse.
State.
I don't know if you can call it a two seed a dark horse, but
Michigan State.
Baylor at Duke tomorrow at 2:40. Duke 11.5 point favorites. Tommy.
So give me Duke.
Give me Duke. They're gonna lose next round to Arizona on Thursday or Friday, whichever day. We'll see Caleb Love put them out.
I can't say their name on there. It makes me
Caleb
throw up.
Love is still playing college basketball.
Give me the one ACC team that's still alive. I'll put it that way.
You're pulling for Duke.
He has
Said he's
to.
picking.
I'm picking them. I will never pull for them.
He's pulling for him.
The only time I'd pull for them is if they were playing Tiger Woods and something.
Well, we do share that in common. our hatred of Tiger Woods.
Terry.
I won't say hatred.
Oh, I hate him.
Oregon at Arizona. I got the Wildcats.
I just like Jack with his 18 majors.
Yeah, let's say
Chip.
now.
Give me Caleb Love. I want the matchup. Give me Arizona.
They did beat Akron, Tom.
Oh, they did, huh?
Soundly.
The Zips did want none.
The Zips
of
didn't
Caleb
want
Love.
none of that. Okay, yeah. So I like Arizona in that one.
Terry.
Oregon wins.
Terry gets the Ducks. Mormons and Cheeseheads. Cheeseheads favored by 1.5. Wisconsin and BYU today at 7:45. Chip.
I'm gonna pick against the Mormons. Let's go Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin. I'm sure BYU's got like a 7'6" dude.
Yeah, give me BYU.
No, but BYU does have a lot of 3-point
How's the
shooters,
Cougars?
and that's the point that beats Wisconsin. So BYU wins.
All right.
Jackie,
If I remember correctly, Vanderbilt beat Alabama in football.
Yes.
And then some other bad school beat Vanderbilt also.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But
like Georgia State or somebody.
But the vaunted Commodores of the SEC were just beat by St. Mary's. Now St. Mary's plays Alabama.
Who did you take?
On which one?
The one before.
BYU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
St. Mary's was the higher seed.
Are you guys picking St. Mary's to beat Bama, or is Tom going to yell Roll Tide?
No, as much as I hate Alabama, they'll win.
Yeah, I'm also taking Alabama. They got a kid named Sears. It's pretty darn good.
Forgive me, Father. It's Lent, and I'm not taking St. Mary's. But
Sears is out of business, Terry.
Bama's going to win.
Oh, Lordy.
I was going to say, Jackie just started listening, so she can't call in for those Martinsville tickets.
She's a little late.
Okay.
I'm sure she heard there's probably a big flea market somewhere in the area, but sorry, you're not going to get to go to Martinsville.
Because that's going to break her heart.
Yeah, she's a flea market junkie, so I'm sure there's one nearby.
Got you.
You taking Alabama?
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, UConn and Florida. Florida favored by 9.5. Chip.
Chip, you don't have to think about this. You don't think on reputation. You got to think on 2025, man.
No. Yeah. I'm going to go Florida.
I wouldn't pick Dan Hurley to do anything. Florida Gators for me. Chomp them. I hope they beat them by 40.
Do you know who I am?
Terry?
No, I'm Florida.
Florida.
Maryland, whose coach is ready to leave at any moment, said they didn't get to stay an extra night. AD told him he couldn't afford the hotel rooms.
Wow.
Say that again?
That's the exact words from the AD. I mean, from the coach, that we couldn't come an extra day early because the AD told us that they couldn't afford the hotel rooms.
Wow.
It's because some administrator with a do-nothing job is making about $300,000 a year.
Yeah, well, they put more into women's softball and football, and I'm telling you, I mean, some sports are not top of their line, and basketball's not the top of their line.
Well, Maryland plays Colorado State.
Back in the old days when they was the ACC, different story.
Yeah,
but now they're in the
Williams
Big Ten.
is rolling over in his grave right
I'm
now.
gonna pick the Terrapins. I'm gonna pick the Terrapins in this one, but they're gonna lose the next one.
Well, I'm also taking Maryland. I think they'll win this one.
I'd take Maryland.
Drake, not the rapper at Texas Tech.
Hide your daughters.
I got the Red Raiders in this one.
Yeah, I'll take Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
They're favored by 6.5. Terry?
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Remember when Bobby Knight was down there?
All right.
Correction, Gary Williams is still alive. I thought he had passed away. He's still living.
All right. Sorry, Gary.
Sorry, my bad.
Playing a little Dead or Alive.
Gary just changed the channel. He was listening.
Gary Williams, Dead or Alive.
Calipari and Patino face off.
Can they both lose?
2:40 today, CBS.
They set this up on purpose.
St. John's, Arkansas.
To quote my dad, can they both lose?
Chip, who you got?
Give me the higher seed. Give me Patino.
Pretty sure Tommy's got the Johnnies.
I do.
Would it be
Between
considered...
these two is two of the, I don't know how to say it, most untrustworthy people in college basketball. I'm going to go with the Patino on this one.
So even though the number's lower, they're considered a higher seed.
Correct.
That's
so everybody
just a
took
mess.
St. John's?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. I don't blame you. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
All right, Terry, UCLA and Tennessee. Who you got? Tennessee's favored by 5.5 in this one.
Yeah, this is where Tennessee's better. I'm going to take Tennessee.
And Lou Alcindor's not coming through that door. Bill Walton's not coming through that door. Tennessee's winning.
Tennessee and Johnny Wooden's not coaching them.
That's right. The greatest coach.
Give me the SEC on that
all
one.
time.
Tennessee on that one.
Never used profanity.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Contrary to Bobby Knight's opinion.
Illinois and Kentucky.
Did
the
not like
Illini, the 6th seed, is favored by 1.5 in this one against Kentucky, y'all. So, Terry, you were mentioning this game earlier.
Yep.
Who
They're the
you
number
got?
one scoring team. I'm taking Illinois.
Chip?
Terry, you've influenced me. I'll go in Illinois as well.
It's Illinois, but they won't win. Kentucky wins.
Give me the Wildcats for this one.
Taking Kentucky.
The Boilermakers.
They can't score with them.
We'll see.
That's
They
fine.
can't score.
The Boilermakers host future NC State Wolfpack head coach Will. What is it? Rogers?
Wade.
Will Wade.
Yeah.
Terry, I can't believe he knew it. McNeese. I'm about to fall on my chair. McNeese will be
I
at
know the
Purdue
coaches.
after
Y'all
beating
just have
Clemson.
y'all's little
So who you got, Terry?
McNeese.
There you go.
Oh my god. That's wishful thinking for next year.
Purdue.
Give me the Boilermakers. Houston and Gonzaga. Chippy.
Gonzaga gives Houston a scare, but Houston pulls it out.
Houston. 5 slamma-jamma.
Just a lot of chalk this year. A lot of chalk.
5 slamma-jamma for me on that one.
Gonzaga.
All right. Y'all got any other news, notes, thoughts about the college basketball?
Y'all must not understand NCAA.
Tell us about it, Terry.
Enlighten us, Terry.
Tell us what we don't understand, Terry. Educate us.
I mean, as I go down through this and I look at it and I say, okay, nobody thinks Creighton. Well, Creighton will beat Auburn. Y'all might as well guarantee that.
You have multiple times.
And then you
Getting
go
ready to
down
up
through
my
here,
bet.
and then y'all all take Houston. Gonzaga is more of there. Just don't count Sampson's all of a sudden got a decent team. Don't mean he's going to beat Gonzaga.
He's had a decent team for several years.
Yeah, but he ain't never had to play Gonzaga. So there's the Gonzaga's always
I didn't know
making
Gonzaga
it.
was the powerhouse of
They're
these.
not, but they always get to the Sweet 16 and the Final 8 every year. So eliminate Houston today, they'll be gone. So I look at some of the other ones, and then let's see, Purdue against. I mean, they don't have Ely no more. He's gone.
9-12. Mark this up.
So-
Put this up. Put this on the. Put this.
I mean,
on
really.
KTC's
I mean,
website.
BYU.
Even in the women's bracket, they're complaining about seeds. South Carolina got the number 2 overall seed.
I hated that. I want to tell you something.
Hold on, poor girl,
Yeah.
poor Dawn.
Yeah, poor Dawn. That's exactly what
You're
I
a
said.
1 seed. What does it matter?
Well, the problem that bothered me
We're going to make
was,
adjustments to our schedule in the
have
future.
to-
If the standard is the standard, if that's the standard, then we can play any schedule and get a number 1 seed.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You played UCLA. Guess what? You lost. And you telling me UCLA shouldn't be number 1? I mean, where in the world did you grow up at? You played them. You lost. They should be number 1. It's simple.
I don't I mean, if you
don't get me wrong. She's got a great team, but I don't understand where she was coming from. I ought to be number 1.
if you get into the tournament, just okay. All right, we didn't get a number 1 seed. I would wish we would. I'm sorry we didn't. We'll just have to prove them wrong, and we'll have to win all the games. I mean, that's.
I wonder if I'm reading this right, though. Gonzaga's 26 Sweet 16s in a row. Am I reading that right?
That's what
I do not
trying
know.
to tell you.
Y'all's
betting charts are off the mark.
I'm just telling
That's
you, man.
insane.
That's
impressive.
Am I reading that right?
They were on one of my things. What are you talking about, Terry? I know I pulled them up because I said
Yeah, but they're west of that dotted line you showed us. So
They are win championship. You can bet them on make Sweet 16 if you want.
they're gonna get.
So
by
this is a big game for them today. Then keep that streak going.
Yeah, the straight trips, 27. Let's see, 26 seasons.
Your national title contenders: Houston, Tennessee, Duke, Gonzaga, Iowa State, Florida, Auburn, and Wisconsin. But you can take Iowa State.
No, it's 26 straight.
Gonzaga and Houston.
NCAA tournament appearance.
26 straight bids to the tournament.
Yeah, that's better.
Now show that again, Kevin.
Those are your Ken Palm
Yeah, think of
teams
that.
we were talking about earlier.
And there's Gonzaga with Houston.
Yeah, 26 straight.
And both of
bids.
them play today.
And you know what it is? It's Michigan State 27 straight, Gonzaga 26 straight, Purdue 10, Houston 7, Tennessee 7, Baylor 6, Kansas 6. That's it.
What about Duke?
Real quick,
Duke's not on the list. 320. Is there a year that Duke didn't make it?
Chip.
Well, no, wait a minute. In
Yeah.
2020, didn't they just say they're not going?
Yeah, there's a few years that they didn't.
Maybe that was
All
it.
Kay was the one that started whining about the COVID.
Right,
and
right.
he's the one that started this everything. UNC will wear blue uniforms for the first time ever in the first game of the NCAA tournament. They've never been a lower seed to start the tournament.
Oh, wow.
So the first time ever they wore blue the other night to start the tournament.
And it would be, to Terry, your point, this would be the 10th straight year they'd win a second-round game. That's pretty. That's
still impressive.
That's impressive. 26 straight years of the tournament.
So, again, this is a big game for them.
All right, any other news and notes, fellas?
I will say one thing, as we're still in college basketball, the Forgotten Four.
Who's that?
Is still on the list. St. Francis, as of last year, has eliminated basketball, so we're going to go to the Forgotten Three. The Citadel finished this year 5-25. They did not make it. Ever since the NCAA has become established in 1939, these are teams who have never made the NCAA. William and Mary, they're 17-15. They did not make it out of the Colonial Athletic Association. And the other team is Army. They finished 16-15 out of the Patriot League. They have never made it.
Trump will take care of that.
Well, Army did have a chance way back in the 60s when Bobby Knight was coaching them, but he elected to go to NIT, so they still on this panel here. But they did accept a bid to play in the CIT tournament, which they are in.
Trump will sign an executive order requiring that the Army gets automatic bid.
Hubert Davis has more NCAA tournament wins in his first 4 seasons than Roy Williams and Coach K did in their first 4 years at Kansas and Duke combined. So for you Hubert haters out there, like I said, you knock Coach K off in the Final Four.
You
put your statue up, retire, whatever you want to do.
You own the W that ended K's career,
right?
And his you beat him in his last home game in Cameron,
right? There's nothing you can do wrong.
That's just whenever Coach K loses, it is a good thing. And I'm not even like into Carolina fan. I'm not a Carolina fan. It's just like that man is just a deplorable person. I don't know what he's just a deplorable. But and I tell you, I still cannot get over it. And I know I talk about this. I'm like the old man telling the same story. Him being on the North Carolina High School Athletic Association sportsmanship video. Give me a break. Give me a break.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk baseball, NBA, NFL, and more. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 2008, Bennett Insurance Agency in downtown Cherryville has been serving our area with the best insurance coverage for your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and personal insurance needs. They are independent agents and work together to get you the best carrier for your insurance needs. For more information, give them a call at 704-435-0270 or drop by their office and let them take care of your insurance needs. Bennett Insurance Agency, 116 West Main Street in downtown Cherryville.
Get on the winning team. That's Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save thousands of dollars on the remaining 2024 models. Plus, great financing is available too. Take a look at the SUVs, trucks, Silverados, and Sierras. And check out the Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. And ask about a lease on a new Chevy Blazer EV for under $400 a month. Now, that's a slam dunk at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC. 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Yeah. What's up, Doc? The Bunny with the Money is back again this year. You could be the winner of a $1,000 shopping spree at one of our local merchants. Register today at Carolina Furniture Mart on North Aspen Street in Lincoln, at the Pancake House on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at the 3500 Grill on Highway 18 north of Shelby, at Guns N' Roses Therapy, Highway 74 bypass between Shelby and Kings Mountain, at Marburger Chevrolet on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at the Green Relief on Highway 10 in Vale, at Bradley's on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Shelby Meat and Grocery on South Lafayette Street in Shelby, at Cummings Furniture on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Pfeiffer Cafe on East Warren Street in Uptown Shelby, and at Butler's Tower on East King Street in Kings Mountain. The drawing will be held on Friday, April 18th, so be sure to register for this year's Bunny with the Money.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Field comes up off turn 4. Green flag goes in the air.
Racing under the Florida sunshine.
Trouble turn number 3. One car almost spins. He nearly took out Sammy Smith.
At Homestead Miami Speedway.
And in a finish that we'll remember forever, Eric Almirola wins at Phoenix.
It's the Hard Rock Bet 300.
Saturday afternoon at 3:30 on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Tee it up for a great golf experience at the Cherryville Golf and Country Club. And yes, the course is open to the public 7 days a week. For your tee time, give them a call, 704-435-6597. Tune your game up with their driving range. And on Friday, come on out for the Captain's Choice, starting at 5:30. And for that special event, keep the Cherryville Country Club in mind, with several event packages available. That's the Cherryville Golf and Country Club, 200 Club Drive, Cherryville. Online at cherryvillegolf.com.
Peter Rabbit is ramping it up, getting ready for the Easter Egg Extravaganza, Saturday, April 12th at Jumpin' Jed's in downtown Boston. Get additional savings inside Easter eggs found throughout the store. There are even some gift certificates, too. See the new hand-fried furniture by Lisa, new one-of-a-kind items, new primitive furniture, new spring florals, and more. All at Jumpin' Jed's, Main Street, Boston, downtown. Hop on in for some great buys and check out many items on their Facebook page. And don't forget about the big Easter Egg Extravaganza, Saturday, April 12th.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're starting, I think, baseball, if I'm correctly.
Not sure what all JP just said right there, but we are going to finish up with some basketball. We'll switch over to NBA while we are talking basketball. Won't jump over the sports. Don't have too much in it to go as the season winds down. I've been noticing, the players and their load management that they've been doing lately. Obviously, the whole time. Steve Kerr set Curry the other night and asked him how he was. He said he's fine physically. When he's emotionally tired, it affects his decision making, so he didn't play tonight.
Oh my!
So he was fine, Tom. People bought tickets, spent lots of money to go see the Warriors. I saw one yesterday where Luka didn't play, and these folks flew all the way from, where's he from? Not Lithuania.
One of the Slavic countries.
Right. But they came from his country. Luka doesn't. Slovenia. Luka doesn't play, and they're posting on the internet, hey, we came all the way, we traveled across the world, and he's a healthy scratch, and can we get free tickets for tomorrow's game or next game, stuff like that. And that was one of the things I'll always remember as a kid, as far as going to the Hornets game, is that you can see the Hornets 41 times with the Bobcats if you were a Bobcats fan. But the other teams in the Western Conference only come once.
Right.
The Eastern Conference come 2 or 3 times, but in the West you can only come once. I saw Michael Jordan play every game.
Yeah.
Every single time he came to Charlotte, I saw him play. You know who I only saw play once in my whole life? David Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Because Popovich in the Spurs, but before and Hill before him would sit right. They started the whole resting people, and I only saw I went to 3 or 4 Spurs games, and I never got to saw David play, and I was upset about that. And finally got to see him one time, and that was before the Duncan era, and then the Bobcats or whatever left or whatever it was, or the Hornets left. But that was, I'll always remember that part. So that's what I want to say to the league, and they'll say we're not going to miss home games because they're home fans. My argument is it's missing the away games because the away teams fans are coming to see the stars play each other. You don't go to Madison Square Garden to see Steve Kerr face off with Allen Houston. You go to see how many Michael's going to drop on the Knicks.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's been bothering me is that they don't do the road games and the healthy scratches, and we're just not going to play.
As with most things in the NBA, take a cue from the GOAT. It was an obligation. He felt it was an obligation for him to perform.
Magic talked about that this week, about them playing 82 games back then.
Yeah. In a much more physical, aggressive style of play. and they didn't get exhausted.
So here's Rick Barry, and the fan. The new guy's been talk about the old white boy ballers back in the plumbers. Tom, here's Barry talking about what they would be able to do. I'm gonna lower that. The audio is not good.
I said, you must be on drugs. I said, you know how much better I would be if I was playing today? Seriously. I had no weightlifting. We had no strength coach, no agility coach. We had no dietitian. We did everything. We did nothing to help us. I'd be faster, stronger, quicker, more endurance, jump higher. I'd be so much better a basketball player today than I was back when I played. The officials have called it by the rule book. Okay. Stop the traveling, stop the carrying the ball, stop the moving screens, call the damn game according to the rule book, because players will adjust. If you're going to allow them to get away with it, hell, of course I'll keep doing it. Call the game according to the rule book. It's such an advantage to let a guy carry the basketball or take an extra step. That's ridiculous. Or a guy to move on offense. I mean, why are you giving all this advantage to guys? They're breaking the rules. Call the game according to the rule book. I charted the game a few years ago. Chicago, Atlanta. 59 moving screens weren't called. 59. That's insane. I can't even tell you how many times they carried the ball, how many times they traveled with the ball. It's pathetic. For me to watch this game the way I was taught how to play the game and to watch this and what they allow to let go, it's an embarrassment.
How do you think Rick Barry feels about that, Terry?
Well, he's telling the truth. I mean, two perfect people you showed up are Giannis and Jokic. They carry the ball all the time because they put it up against them almost like next to the ribs when they daggum pushing it down the court. But it's not going to be called nowadays. So.
Well, and I don't think people get that, Terry. If you allow the player to basically cheat or whatever as far as dribbling and move wise, that does take away the ball movement because he's going to keep doing whatever cheating and dribbling moves that you can, fancy moves to get to the basket. But that totally kills ball movement because most of the time, a lot of times you have to move the balls because your dribble gets stopped. And if I'm allowed to carry and travel and do whatever I want, I don't see how that even happens. If a player had 17 blocks in a six-game playoff series, it would be considered pretty good. 1972 Western Conference Finals, Wilt blocked Cream alone 17 times, 5 skyhooks in the clincher. Wilt was 35, Cream 24 at that time.
Yeah.
We saw some of those highlights from some of those back then.
Shaq would annihilate Wilt. That's what the Gen Zers are saying, man.
He couldn't annihilate Greg Ostertag, but whatever they want to do, whatever they want to call about that. Let's see. What was I? Why do I have the? Oh, this is LeBron. This guy said, how Tom makes to make bets over there. This guy's ever put the money on Bronny tonight. Watch this. Oh, y'all don't want that. So Bronny's warming up back with the Lakers. Pulls up for a little jumper in the lane, airball. The reason I like that because the guy was like, "Yep, put the money on Bronny tonight in the Lakers." So.
Stephen A's wrong.
I don't have too much there. How's your season's over in Charlotte? So Tom, we got a couple more games left here and there. How's the fight for the Cavs still going?
Well, they lost a couple in a row. They lost at Sacramento. That's a tough place to play on the road.
How many you lost in a row, Tom?
2.
4.
It's not been 4, has it?
Yeah, you've lost 4 now. Yeah,
you've lost 4 straight.
Yeah.
Boston hadn't lost 3 straight the whole year.
According to this,
well, they have lost
4
straight.
straight.
I thought it was 2. My fault.
Cleveland 5 games up on Boston for the 2 seed. Then the Knicks 12.5.
We're taking it easy.
Pacers, Bucks,
12
Pistons
games
are the
left.
top 6 teams. Hawks, Magic, Bulls, and Heat are in the play-in right now. Toronto 5 games back with 12 to go. Wizards have been eliminated. Hornets still mathematically involved, guys. Got a chance. Got to go on a streak, Terry. Got to start one win at a time, right? Got to build up. You start 1, then 2, then you got to go to 3. We can do it, right?
Y'all be done by Monday.
All right. Just killed all my faith. 18-52. They're only 38 games back at the Cavs.
30.
Jazz Pelicans and the Wizards
They're
have
only
all
11
been
games
eliminated.
They're only 11 games out of the play-in.
Yeah. That's way better news than the Cavs news, the 38 games. So for the worst record in the NBA that you want one of the top three to be guaranteed a top three pick, unless someone else outside the top three gets the number one pick, they are currently third worst record in the NBA. Out west, Oklahoma City, Houston 2, Lakers 3, Nuggets 4, Grizzly 5, Golden State 6. In the play-in, Clippers, Timberwolves, Kings, and Suns, with the Mavericks falling out, along with Portland and San Antonio on the outside. Looking in, Phoenix and Dallas are tied for that last spot in the playoff. Terry, who's your favorite in the West right now, if you had to pick? Who are you picking to play the Celtics right now?
Oklahoma City. But I don't think they'll get through their sides. I mean, really. I think Denver or it's bad to say, but I'm going to say Golden State.
What?
They've been playing better since they got Butler, that's for sure.
But no, I'm sorry. that question, that answer evolved.
Well, he loves Draymond too. He loves him some Draymond.
He first said
as a nice pretzel.
Well, I mean, I do. I like Oklahoma City, but I don't think they can get through the West.
In round one, they would have somebody: Clippers, Timberwolves, Kings, or Suns.
Just think what they get in the second round.
And if they get in the second round, it'll be Nuggets or Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Lakers in the second round could have the Rockets, and they could have the Golden State Warriors in the first round. Right now, it's Golden State, Terry. Who you got in that one?
Golden State.
All right. Tommy, you got a favorite out in the West?
Oklahoma City's young and playing good basketball all year, but I think Terry might have a point with Golden State. They have been playing better since the Butler trade.
What is it, 15-2?
Yeah, I mean,
since Butler come,
and it surprised me because I just thought, like Jimmy Butler's done. Look at all that; he's just a franchise wrecker and all that. But I've been proven wrong.
He's another one of them guys. I mean, he does score more, but he's another one of the guys like Draymond Green. He's going to do all the dirty work for you.
When he first arrives to a team, he is his demeanor and mentality is entirely changed compared to what he was.
Kevin, you got a choice to add to your team. Is it Butler or Draymond Green?
Jimmy Butler.
The guy that could beat me in a shooting contest.
Yeah.
The guy that can beat me a horse. The NBA player that can beat me a horse. Let me put it that way. I'll stress the word can.
I think they got one more run in them. Of course, you never can count out Denver either. So
All right, so we still got a little baseball, NFL action to go over, and a little bit more fun. We'll be back. KTCBroadcasting.com.
What's up, Doc? The Bunny with the Money is back again this year. You could be the winner of a $1,000 shopping spree at one of our local merchants. Register today at Medical Arts Pharmacy on Grover Street in Shelby, at the Green Relief Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Shelby Hardware on South Lafayette Street in Shelby, at Gaston Used Auto Parts on Dogwood Street in Gastonia, at Family Auto Highway 74 East in Shelby, at Dallas Express Pharmacy on Hoffman Street in Dallas, at H&M Industries on Highway 74 west of Shelby, at the Firestone Grill on West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, at All Care Insurance on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Carfair Auto Sales on the Bessemer City Road in Gastonia, and at Possum Hollow Farms on Pleasant Drive in Shelby. The drawing will be held Friday, April 18th, so be sure to register for this year's Bunny with the Money.
At Coyote Tractor, we hold dirt in the highest regard. That's why we're digging up some of our best deals so you can get out there and plan. We've got cash back and 0% financing offers available on 22 to 110 horsepower tractors, utility vehicles, and zero-turn mowers. Coyote, we dig dirt. Offer cannot be combined. Financing subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. See your authorized Coyote Tractor dealer for details.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail.
Welcome to Martinsville.
Martinsville isn't your average everyday racetrack. It's truly one of a kind. The speed, the shape, the history, the hospitality, and heck, even the hot dogs. A one-of-a-kind weekend at the short track of NASCAR with trucks on Friday, Xfinity on Saturday, and Cup Series on Sunday. It's one event too amazing to miss. NASCAR weekend at Martinsville Speedway, March 28th through the 30th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com.
Attention John Deere shoppers. James River Equipment's Blue Tag specials are going on now.
Which means huge savings on compact and utility tractors, residential and commercial mowers, Gator utility vehicles, and more. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/Blue Tag for more.
Get up to $2,500 off MSRP on John Deere riding mowers, up to $3,000 off MSRP on John Deere commercial mowers, and up to $10,000 off MSRP on John Deere utility tractors. James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North, Shelby.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Green flag is in the air. We are off and at it.
Heads to South Florida.
Trouble turn 3. Ty Gibbs flies into the outside wall hard.
For a high-speed battle around Homestead Miami Speedway.
3 wide coming to the line. Contact. And Christopher Bell has won his 3rd consecutive race in the NASCAR Cup Series.
It's the Straight Talk Wireless 400.
Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Get up to $3,000 off select Polaris off-road vehicles at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell, or get financing as low as 1.99% APR for 36 months. But that's not all. Get up to $1,500 bonus bucks on new Honda Pioneer, Prowler, Talon models, and rev up the new year with the new Slingshot. Get $1,000 customer cash, or financing as low as 1.99% for 36 months with no money down at Full Throttle Power Sports. 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Sorry, was getting some medicine ordered.
I was hoping he didn't start talking about that one. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Get to you, McDonald's here in Cherville for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had a great breakfast today when you come see the ball games. What was you going to say, Chip?
I was going to ask JP. He said he was calling. Were you calling somebody down at Cat Square to make that arrangement, pick up some of that shine?
No.
Today on KTC Broadcasting, Chip, you want to read our broadcast schedule there for the folks at home?
We'll take a look at the schedule here. On WOHS, we got NCAA basketball starting at 12 noon. McNeese State, Terry's pick against Purdue. It'll be followed up around 2:40. Arkansas versus St. John's. Calipari versus Patino. 6:10, you've got Texas Tech taking on Drake, as Kevin said, not the rapper. And then wrapping things up on WHS this evening around 9:40 will be UCLA versus the Volunteers of Tennessee. And then on 92.9 WCSL starting at 12 noon, we'll have McNeese State versus Purdue. And then we'll switch over to racing at 3:30 p.m. We've got the Hard Rock BET 300 Xfinity race. Then we'll come back to NCAA basketball around 6:10 with Texas Tech versus Drake, and then 9:40 UCLA versus Tennessee. That's on WCSL and WHS.
Hopefully, Chip got you folks straightened out with all of that. We're gonna check.
Yeah, and don't forget. I mean, I did that the other day. Sitting around at the school, I turned on the radio, and KTC had us all covered for the college basketball playoffs.
I got a bunch of different. Some different baseball stuff today. Nothing, they're not playing. We're not playing game. Well, I guess they did just start in Japan. You like that, Terry? Starting national pastime in Japan.
You know who you're asking.
There's a reason they directed that at you and not me.
Big fan.
Not really.
All right, so check out this bat flip on this home run, and it gets a little ridiculous out here, but.
First of all, if I had that great big guy throwing to me and I hit one off of him, I'd backflip it too.
Well, you might not say that in a second. It's 3-2 Coastal. Coastal's on the mound. Troy's at the plate, and this is a solo shot. Let's see if we got anything.
Stadium. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty cool.
Did you get that one's going to be hit deep to
Where's the
right
bat?
field. That one's going back. It is gone.
Did you see the bat?
A home run for Stephen Meyer.
He gonna hurt somebody.
That one looks to
Yeah, but
tie it up.
well, there shouldn't be nobody over our worries.
as
Does that
Meyer
need
is going
to
to
make
touch
some type
home
of rules
plate.
on back
He had
flipping, Terry? You guys
that
deal
one's
with this all
going
the
to
time.
hit
Tom,
deep
watch this one.
to right field. That one's going back. It is gone. A home run.
They call him out?
No.
In high school, you're going to let him finish his trot,
Yeah.
and then you're going to throw him out of the game when he touches home plate.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do.
That one's going to be hit
This
deep
is
to right field.
Troy,
That one's
Alabama.
going.
Look how high this thing
But
is.
this is why kids do it, because they see it on social media and they want to be cool like this kid, and it's just, I don't know.
Act like you've done it before.
Right. I mean, there's some times where I think that they go a little bit too far.
So that tied the game at 3. Then Coastal turned around and scored 8 straight on them and made it 11-3. So it didn't matter. It was a very insignificant bat flip.
I'm just
see if you guys have seen this call at first. Terry, if you had the temporary bases, either one of you, Tom?
Yeah.
The orange bases.
The double first base.
Yeah. So this is West Virginia, Arizona. Play at first.
They're trying to prevent the train wreck at first base with that.
He's off the base.
He's out.
Yes.
Correct call, Terry?
Yes. Now, you can't be over there.
He's off the base.
That's
He's
only
out.
for
Yes.
the runner. I've seen balls. Now here's strange. I've seen balls who have hit that base, and they call it fair.
I've never, in my 27 years, I've never done a game with a double first base.
Okay.
You, Terry?
Yeah, I've done games.
Okay,
That's how it does.
I've never done a game with a double first base.
And
I kind of like it because it keeps that runner in his running lane.
It does.
And now you don't have to judge, like, is he coming to the base? You know what I mean? Because if he's in his running lane, Terry, you know he's got to come to the left a little bit. And if that throws a little off, that's where you have the train wreck.
Yeah.
And then everybody's saying, is it interference, obstruction, all that? That double first base keeps him over there. And it's not going to prevent it, but it's less likely.
Mm-hmm.
How
It's
about
less likely.
Tom? You're a betting man. Would you have bet on the defensive play of the Dodgers Tokyo series here? Would be a former Heisman winning quarterback.
No.
Anyone want to make a guess on who makes an appearance in this shot?
Not Manziel.
I gave you a tip.
Not Manziel.
Tim Tebow.
Terry, you got a guess?
I'm not.
Old school. They're too young with these two guys. I need an old school Heisman winner, Terry. They used to be a Dallas Cowboy, a Carolina Panther. All kinds of hints.
And he won the Heisman.
We had a Carolina Panther that was a Heisman.
Side over is Muncie, and he reaches over. He made the catch. Did he make it? He did not. No. Oh my goodness. That looked like it was in his glove for a moment.
That's Rodney Pete, boys.
And I want to tell you something. The guy looked like he is pissed because he called it.
He
the
missed
ball
it
was
already.
already by.
Yeah, he missed it.
He did not. No.
He did miss it.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Yeah, he ain't catching that
There's
anyway.
no way
Yeah,
he would have never caught that
No,
anyway.
He wasn't going to catch it. But Rodney Pete looks at him like,
He was like,
Oh my goodness.
like the Grinch.
That looked like it was in his
that's
glove
great.
for a moment.
That's cool.
Just staring him down.
So Rodney Pete
Like you can't get this, buddy.
makes the play of the week. over
Rodney
there
Bartman.
in Japan. Y'all didn't know that was going to happen.
It's like
That's cool.
Rodney let himself go a little bit, though, man.
Now, Tom, you were asking about Terry's umpiring, and I've got exclusive footage here of Terry umpiring a Little League ball game.
Oh, Lordy.
And if you want to see his strike zone, here we go. The wind and the pitch.
Strike.
Now, oh, wait a minute. You ready? Eric Gregg. That's your Greg Maddox strike zone right there, boys. That was in the other batter's box.
Look where the catcher like slid over halfway to the dugout to frame that pitch.
He framed it. He framed it from the middle of the of the middle of the batter's box, Tom, to the edge of the batter's box. He had the nerve to frame that. He still ain't even in the zone. The frame is a foot and a half outside the zone.
Like the catcher,
and he's holding it.
There's no part of the catcher's body that's blocking the umpire's body from the camera view. That's when you know
Tom,
you're
Tom, you falling for that frame job.
Look at that.
You know, and I was telling some of the coaches, my philosophy is like over the years I try not to go too far outside, but you got to give the whole zone over the plate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to give the pitch around the cap of the knees, but you have to go up to the middle of the abdomen.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
and if they say anything, I'm like, it's over the plate.
Yeah.
You know, but if you start calling that stuff, you can't hit it. I know from the dugout, it looks like a strike. You know what I mean? But it's just like you can't hit that pitch. But if a ball is above your navel, you can hit it. Yeah. If the ball's at the cap of your knees and over the plate, you can hit it.
All right, between the bat flip and the celebrations, is it time for technical fouls in baseball or something? Like, check this out from Michigan. I'll let you come to your own conclusions.
If you bat flip in high school baseball, you're ejected.
Did you see that one?
What do you do? What?
Oh.
It's hard to see with our
like
faces.
He's yeah, that
Oh, it's like snorting cocaine.
That foul line.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what he's doing, Tom. I'm glad you think you know what he's doing.
I wouldn't know.
I know, Tom.
Looks like he's
Explain that more.
He's doing. Looks like
I thought he was trying to see what the chalk line smelled like. Tom's making other conclusions. But yes,
I mean, I did watch movies from the 80s, Kevin.
Is that an ejectionable offense?
Should be.
I mean, it's just.
I don't. This whole.
What are you going to call, Tom? That's what I want to hear.
I mean,
unsportsmanlike.
Bringing shame to the game.
Unsportsmanlike.
Whatever
There's
that
times
rule is.
I try to like deal with it discreetly. Like last night, we had a woman with an artificial noisemaker, which you're not allowed to have.
Yeah.
So like, I walk over there, and
some umpires don't know that.
And I walk over there and I said, "Hey, you can't have the artificial noisemaker." And then some of the kids were like,
"Oh yeah,
I had
this last week
on the fence," and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
you don't even have to deal with it.
I don't want to deal with it. You're right.
That's true.
Kevin.
That's true.
Because nobody knows the rules.
Kevin, you're right. But in the back of my mind, I was with a younger guy, and in the back of my mind, I said, I know they can't do that. But it's not really. They're not saying you suck. You suck. I mean, they're just kind of.
And nobody's saying nothing.
They're just kind of
so
into the game, and nobody's saying anything, and it's in the back of my mind. But then here he comes.
You got to address it.
How long are you going to let that Bush League stuff go on? I'm like, Coach, I'll take care of it right now. And I did, and they stopped.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that's like, and that's what you have to kind of detach yourself as an umpire. Is like, okay, this is going on. It's not really bothering anybody, but a rule's a rule, and you run into this problem. A rule's a rule. You don't want to pick up the crap end of the stick. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, no matter what I do here, because there are some coaches who are saying, well, what's he crying about? We're just into the game. My kids can't get into the game. My kids can't cheer. And you get into that, but you're not allowed to. Like, if a kid is like taking a billy club and beating on a trash can, it's a little easier to deal with. Like if they're just over there on the fence doing this right here and like getting into the game, it's like, in my opinion, it's not really hurting anything. Yeah. But then some people don't like it, you know, especially if they're getting beat.
That's when you're creeping up to the line.
And that's when you're creeping up to the line, and by the book you can't do that. But then you hear stuff from the dugout all the time, Terry. You know that I could get that kid for doing that, but if you do, then I'm wrapped up in this, and now I'm not safe out. Balk, no balk, you know. Pick off, not pick off. And
you know what? We don't
want to get into.
What's aggravating about it is that from the umpire's perspective, Tom, you should be able to go to the coach and be like, "Hey guys, can y'all calm that down a little bit?" And they'd be okay.
And
I would say, and a lot of times you're not going to get that. You're going, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Or why can't we do it like you just said? Why can't we do that instead of just like chill? And that was the thing in the league we played in. I have adults and people that aren't on the team in a dugout yelling pitcher, 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 batter, 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 directly at the players who aren't even participating in the game.
Yeah.
I address that, and they end it, and then the very next game, in the very next game to protest that, like you just said, Tom, you would just simply ask, hey, guys, that's the rule. Don't do that. You would think we would accept it. No, the very next game, the parents organize and bring cowbells.
Yeah.
And I'm the bad guy.
Let me tell you what
and
I
I'm
run
the bad
into.
guy for pointing it out and knowing you can't bring the cowbells. You can't yell at my pitcher. You can't yell at my batter. I had a momentary sitting 5 feet behind the batter in a 11, 12-year-old game going batter, batter, swing. Batter, 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 swing. An adult at 11 and 12-year-old game yelling to someone else's kid,
And I'm like
batter,
Tom,
batter, batter, swing. Shut
a lot of that
up.
stuff you do not want to deal with. This past week, we're doing our county championship. Now, y'all listen to me. We're doing our county championship, and the kids over on the bench, all of a sudden, as loud as they can be. Guy that's with me, calls time. You guys cannot do that.
See, but if you
But
do it,
wait a minute. Here's his restaurant. But the people over here can, pointing at the crowd. Guess what? I mean, then the whole crowd. I'm like, now that really solved a lot.
To me,
I mean, you know,
nobody acts like an adult when you go to a
I'm
ball
like,
game.
what
I will
in
say,
the world?
I quietly,
At whatever age.
the artificial noisemaker, like I heard it in one inning, and I'm like, man. And then like I forgot about it, and then I heard it in another inning, and I just said, hey man, I don't know who's doing it. You know, could you
Just
tell
stop.
that fan to stop it? And then when the coach, he was upset. He goes, "Oh no, I'm getting beat," and I was like, "I'll take care of it." And I went quietly.
Whoever's
I
running
went-
the complex should be running that.
Went quietly over.
facilities
and say,
director.
Went quietly over and say, "Hey, could you take care of that for me?" And both coaches did. And I think sometimes if you just kind of deal with it discreetly, and there was one time where we had an infield fly, and the kid turned and ran. And it was an infielder trying to catch the ball, but he had turned and ran. That's not ordinary effort. You know, he had turned and ran. So we didn't call an infield fly. And the coach was, you know, the coach knows the rule that it doesn't matter who catches it. Could the ball have been caught by an infielder with ordinary effort? So you make a judgment on that. And then he said, you know, the ball went down. He goes, was that not an infield fly? And the umpire said, well, it's not on the infield. That's not how you answer that question. You don't say that. So he goes, that's not the rule. And I came up, I said, Coach, it's not ordinary effort. Or I said it was you know, extraordinary effort. Can't remember exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But then I just went between innings and I said, hey man, I understand his argument, but your assistant coach can't be yelling at my baseman like that, man. I'm just telling you, if you want to come to the 45 and ask me a question, you can. I said, but you just can't yell at him like that. And that's the last time it happened.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes if you can like lower the temperature.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you try to lower the temperature, and then sometimes like you kick yourself. You're like, man, I could have got away with dealing with that a little bit sooner without raising the temperature. But you definitely want, you know, you're the umpire, so you're trying to remain calm. If you get angry, and I'm not saying I haven't got angry in games, because I have. And there's some people I don't like, Terry, and you know you're like that too. There's some people that bring out the
But
worst
every
on
game's
you.
different.
So
Right.
like,
Give them the
game's different.
opportunity.
Bring a good point, Tom. Too. It's like I hate to make this comparison, but y'all are a lot like law enforcement. It's the onus is on you to de-escalate or to keep the situation de-escalated.
Right.
I don't. This whole thing with the bat flips and the one. And you've got the modern day mentality with a lot of even the coaches is, oh, the boys just want to have fun. The boys just want to have fun.
Right.
Okay, when did the only way that the teams could have fun include one-upping the other team?
Yeah.
Just a complete lack of sportsmanship and decorum.
Chip, how was your young oldest?
7.
Oh, you're in for some fun times with other parents at other events and stuff that take things way too serious.
I don't.
And
So
act like fools.
I did announcing. I announced. I won't say the company or whatever, but or the entity that sponsored this. But I announced several basketball games last weekend, and it was youth league age, and nothing about it made me want to have my kids be involved in youth league. And I never thought I would say that.
I don't know.
I never thought I would say that.
I don't know if you guys know him, but there's a former student of mine. His kids are playing baseball. His name's Shane Richard, and he had like a form. It was so funny. It's like request to transfer from my current travel ball team, and it said reason why. kid not batting first in the lineup. My kid is good enough to play infield.
Oh, my gosh.
I know but that's the travel ball culture.
Yeah.
And it's like it kind of nailed the way these parents think.
Who are infinitely worse than the kids.
So
But the kids feed off of
I mean,
it.
it was just so funny. I said, I need to make a copy.
And to
of
Kevin's point about you being able to have that conversation, and baseball, I want to feel like it's more prevalent in a way, because if you're at a football game and the players are stepping over the line that they're supposed to on the sidelines, back up. They do it most of the time. There's no, and the coaches are usually the ones. Philip Russ is normally one of the first ones sitting there saying, "Back up, guys, get back." There's but in baseball, it's like the coaches. If you try to respectfully, diplomatically say, "Coach, they can't be doing that," or "Your crowd can't be doing," it's like the coach bows up. It's like, "Why don't you just pay attention to the game instead of taking care of all this stuff?"
There's a lot of coaches that'll say just that. I won't say one, but there was one where it was a Legion game. He comes out there and paints a line in front of the dugout and said, "I'm extending my dugout. I'm letting my players sit here. You can only extend the dugout towards the outfield.
Right.
You can't extend the dugout towards the field."
Mm-hmm.
And I came over there. I won't tell you who he is, but he's been removed from his current coaching position, thank goodness. But I said, "Coach, you can't do that. Tom, all you do is worry about stupid stuff. That's your problem. That's why you're not a good umpire." You know?
That's a great way to set the tone.
I mean, it's just like, man, I told the supervisor. I mean, this has been years ago, but he said, "Yeah, you did the right thing. It's a rule book. You can extend the dugout towards the outfield. You can't extend it towards the field of play. It's dangerous."
Right.
And you want your players out there to heckle the other team. That's why they're out there. You want them closer. And it's like, why in the world, your responsibility of the safety of these kids, why would you want to put them in harm's way?
But it's stupid. But
All
that's
right,
stupid.
enough umpires.
Yeah.
All right, 11-year-old boy pulled a Paul Skeens Major League debut patch baseball card. Pirates offered him a bunch of years of a bunch of gear and a bunch of lifetime season tickets or something like that. He turned it down and sold it for $1.1 million. Paul Skeens, their best pitcher, will be paid $875,000 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid who pulled your card, that's maybe his first pack of cards in his life.
Wow. Think of that.
Pulls $1 million card. I know somebody who's got every rookie from like 57 to 87 who doesn't have a $1.1 million of baseball cards. But they just make this card with a patch on it, and somebody pays it $1.1 million for it. This kid gets $1 million at 11 years old, and it's more than the actual baseball player is getting paid to play.
If you pay $1.1 million for a baseball card, you have too much money.
Think about it. The Pittsburgh Pirates won't even pay that much for the actual player.
Not just the jersey.
But someone paid for that dude's card with a clip of his jersey on it. Tom.
It's
more than that. More than the actual player.
I might have told you this story before, but I remember the first time I ever bought a pack of any cards, and my mom gave me money. We were at a youth league basketball game. My sister was playing, and I went to my mom gave me money to go to the concession stand to get candy, and I went over there. Well, they had NBA, I forget what, Fleer, Don, whatever, NBA card packs. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I instead of getting candy, I got a pack of cards. So I went back to where my parents were sitting, and my mom's furious. I didn't give you that money for basketball cards. I gave you my money for candy. And she just leans back, and then my dad, nice little father-son moment, my dad leans in. He's like, did you get anything good? And I opened it up, and I got a Magic Johnson All-Star card. I'll never forget in the very first pack I ever got. I think I Kevin McHale. It was neat. But it was a fun moment. Like my dad been like, it's okay. I get it. I understand.
I also want to give credit out to a guy, and I don't even know his name. He comes over our Optimus program all the time. And, again, I wish I knew his name, but he will come in there, pay his way in, and he'll watch 3 basketball games. Now, whether he has anybody affiliated with the league or anybody or a grandson or somebody playing, I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes in, he has a whole bag. And he goes to every one of them teams throughout the night and pulls out tons of cards that are wrapped and gives each kid one. It's from baseball to basketball, whatever that's in it. But, I wish I knew his name, but this gentleman does this every time.
Wow.
And that just flips me out.
All right, we're going to take a break here. Get JP to sit up. Let's see how fast he can sit up. Go, JP. Go, JP.
Don't let those allergies keep you down.
All right, so before we go, We've the Orioles AA affiliate Chesapeake team.
Here's you, Tom.
Is changing
Carolina
their name.
Country, WCSL, 92.9.
Top of the hour.
Is changing their name for a few games this year. And as we go to break, and I'm going to mute Tom halfway through, but I'm going to let him try to guess the mascot's name as we go to break. Now, this is the Orioles AA Chesapeake Bay team, okay? You got Tom? You got all the hints you need.
All right.
All right, here we go. We'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Supplies at today's Pro in Shelby. They've got to be sold to make room for new inventory. Prices have been reduced drastically. You can save up to 50%. All pool supplies, including pool chemicals, they've got to go. And for those backyard cookouts, remember today's Pro does propane refills, and they carry Monessa and Empire Stove imports. That's today's Pro. 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Here come the Blue Devils.
Spins on Shevlin, took the contact. Counted! How about a three? Big time! Steps through. Oh! A reverse pull-up! And he throws it down. Fades away and says goodnight.
We have you covered all season long for the excitement of Blue Devil basketball.
A dominant win at home.
Duke basketball on Carolina Country WCSL and the Boss WOHS.
Be ready for grass cutting season with a stop in at Boyd's Tire and Appliance and Boyd's Lawn and Garden in Clover. Only a short drive for big savings. Check out their line of Aaron's, John Deere, and Gravely mowers. Get 0% financing for 36 months on a new Gravely mower, but also special discounts on Gravely stand-on equipment. Plus Echo and Steel chainsaws, trimmers, and blowers. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance and Boyd's Lawn and Garden, 124 South Congress Street in downtown Clover. Online at boydtire.net.
Grizzly the Greeter says springtime savings are big at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Buy a Liberty 8-foot wide shed and save $200. Buy a 10 or 12-foot wide Liberty shed and save $400. Or buy a 14-foot wide Liberty shed and save $600. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes is your authorized Liberty shed dealer in this area. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, 2268 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. For 5 years, Final Plunge Plumbing has won the prestigious Community Choice Award for Gaston County. Final Plunge Plumbing is a full-service plumbing company, including water and sewer main repairs, water heater replacement, with names like Ream, State Select, Renai, and Navion. They provide upfront pricing, so there's no surprises when you get your bill. First-time customers receive 10% discount up to $500. Choose the best. Choose Final Plunge for your next plumbing job. Call 704-860-5589 or find them online at finalplunge.com.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Just say it right there. If you know the family.
Yep. I
do. Welcome back, Saturday Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings and Chip Carter and Thompson Tefani, Terry Reinhart. JP's in there working on doing his ab work, pressing all the commercials, right, JP?
Breathing exercises.
NFL rules changes time, guys. Rule changes.
Oh, yeah, I like it. No tush push.
They're getting rid of the tush push?
Well, not official. The Packers have proposed to ban it, prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who is lined up directly behind the snapper and receives the snap immediately at the snap. So that was the Packers' proposal.
So you could push somebody else in, just not the quarterback on the tush push.
Correct.
Okay.
So they kind of want to keep it to where you can assist the runner.
Why don't we just go back to what it was and nobody be able to push the runner? Or is it just hard to enforce it when you're in a bunch?
I don't know.
No, it's like, say that a guy has a toss play.
Yeah.
And then he runs around for about 10 yards and then he's met. You could still go up and push him in the back. You see what I mean?
Right. But I'm saying it didn't used to be when you were the ball carrier, they didn't you couldn't
You
push
couldn't physically assist.
So why did that change, or why don't we just go back to that? Or is
I'm fine with it.
Or is it hard to enforce it when you get into a crowd of people you don't know if they're pushing the player, blocking somebody?
Right. Correct. Like I just whatever they want to do. I don't know about directly. However, the Packers worded it basically just don't push the quarterback. Whoever gets the snap.
Well, I think it all comes back to when Washington was playing Philadelphia and all the things that Washington tried.
Yeah,
I think that's where it all come back to, because Washington was determined that was not going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a kid jumping over a whole line to try to meet the quarterback in the backfield.
I just don't think. I think it is too much of an advantage to just get all that leverage and push from behind. You can't block the guy who's pushing. I mean, I just don't like the play.
So the Eagles proposed to make the regular season and postseason overtime rules the same.
Agreed.
Basically. So there's no difference between the two.
Agreed.
I mean, why should a team lose a game when they never had a chance to get the ball
in overtime? I agree.
I agree.
All right, now the most important rule to me, maybe, hopefully, in the history of football, maybe changing. For the love of God, eliminate the automatic first down penalty on defensive holding and illegal contact.
Yeah, especially if it's like
it can be 4th and 35, and the receiver accidentally run into a safety 5 yard or 10 yard, 7 yards down the field, and they give them a first down.
Yeah,
give them the yardage and play the down. Mm-hmm. The automatic first down thing is the most ridiculous thing for me. Unless it's a personal foul, you kick someone in the face.
The only thing I would say, if it's illegal contact, you're going to get rid of the first down. I'm fine with that. Make it a 10-yard penalty. I'm fine with it being a 10-yard, like it is an offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. So make it a defensive holding, a 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
Well, I almost wish offensive holding would be a 5-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard penalty.
Oh, no, Chip, no.
It
would be out of control.
Really?
What that would lead. So this, as far as I'm hoping, is that it will lead to them calling and doing a better job on the pass interference stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like get back to the actual rule book of it and not just making it up as they go, because they just make it up as they go now, and it's aggravating as all get out. And this right here, to me as a DB, it's just you can't give them a first down. I'm from the now remember I played where you could touch the receivers until the ball was thrown by the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So until the ball was in the air,
yep.
It's football. Just like basketball, like you're going down the court, we're touching, we're boxing out, we can touch each other. That is what I like. So that, to me, by giving someone a first down by hand, that's basically hand checking, right, Terry? You're giving people first down, hand checking down the field,
right.
And the ball's not even in there. Once the ball's in there, it's pass interference anyway. So just call the pass interference. So that's this one right here. I do hope they do something with this one. This one kind of has always drove me crazy. The other two, kind of nitpicky, whatever. I'm not that. I don't care that much about it. I'm kind of passionate about this one. It just changes a lot.
I hate the tush push. I hate it. And I hate the overtime rule that doesn't give. I mean, why should I lose a game where I didn't even get the ball?
Give me the opportunity at least.
Got you.
Yep.
Got you.
We're Giants fans, Kevin. We're Giants fans now.
Why is that? Because Russell Wilson?
No, their quarterback.
Could be
wrong signing.
Oh, is Jameis going to the Giants?
Jameis is a Giant now.
Could be.
Well, there you go. Russell is too. Is he Russell?
No, Russ didn't sign. It's right now. It's Jameis and DeVito, and they're looking. There's talk about Shedeur going to them at number 3.
Well, Rodgers is probably going to Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's what that looks like.
Here's a defensive holding illegal contact penalties. Detroit proposed the rule change, and they led the league in it.
Yeah,
so.
Shocker. Where do you think Russell goes? Let's say Rodgers goes to Aaron goes to Steelers. Where does Russ go at this point?
He visited Cleveland.
No.
But I don't think after they paid Myles Garrett and they're still paying.
Yeah.
Did I hear right that they were able to get it 1 year shorter on Winston's contract? I thought I heard that. I have to double check that.
I'm not sure.
But that's.
Wouldn't you be mad if you was the Steelers and Rodgers, pushed you off this whole time, and then that he wants to come meet with you during March Madness?
Did you hear Cam Hayward?
Madness.
Yeah, Cam Hayward was basically like, "Look, if you want to be with us, fine. Make your decision."
So he wanted to be with the Vikings. McCarthy has some type of an injury setback. If they were just trying to decide if they were going to keep him or not, they've tried to go with him. And then Rodgers now it's kind of in no man's land on that. So I don't know about the Jameis, what the Giants are going to do if they're bringing in Jameis. Maybe they are thinking about drafting one of the other quarterbacks. So I'm guessing.
It's funny though that you mentioned Rodgers, and I know I saw a little tweet this past week of this is a guy who was in the top 10 in quarterbacks, top 10 pass, top 10 touchdowns, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now nobody wants him.
Yeah, he is falling
because of what he did at the Jets. Man, look what happened when he got there. Look what a mess he made.
I think he's got
Colts brought in Daniel Jones to compete with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Who did the Raiders bring in? Oh, Geno.
That's right.
Yeah, Cooper Rush went to the Baltimore Ravens. Now we don't have a backup in Dallas.
We were talking about quarterbacks at work this week, and somebody made me think of you, Kevin. They were like, who was going where and whatever, and somebody was like, just doesn't seem like there's that many good quarterbacks in the league right now. And I'm like, my guy I work with on Saturdays would agree with you. He probably has about a handful he would trust to win a Super Bowl right now.
Now the Browns did restructure the contract. The cap hit $72.9 million cap hit. Man, that's
golly.
But they did restructure it to make it a little bit.
Did Stafford stay?
Easier.
Yes,
he resigned.
Yes, he did resign.
Because he was talking about going to Cleveland, and
I still don't see why I thought San Francisco might do something with Rodgers. To be honest, and
I think they like Purdy.
But, well,
saves them a lot of money.
That's it, right, Terry. Speaking of saving a lot of money, you did leave last week. How about you think the Cowboys restructuring deals for cap space, and then not spending the cap space, and now putting that money into next year's cap?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that $50 million is wasted by not doing anything with it. Is what I'm saying, and with Dak.
But we are able to re-sign a lot of our guys right now, and I like that part of it. I mean, Dallas is you go in there free.
Yeah, congratulations on your 2-year, $4 million long snapper.
Well, and with Turpin, we got him back. I mean, we got money now to get guys back that
you're
we
not going to spend the money. We've been over this.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not. But we're getting guys back that we need. I mean, I will say
Terry,
that.
Will the Dallas Cowboys be in the Super Bowl in 2026?
Michael Parsons said yes.
No, I didn't care what Michael said. I asked you,
Terry.
What's
your
thoughts? Will the Dallas Cowboys? Will you go on the record right now?
I can't say that because now we don't have a backup.
At least he's coming back to reality.
Yeah, we don't have.
He's actually coming.
We like Cooper Rush of all people. And a lot of people say, well, you don't need him. He's a backup quarterback. But he succeeded. When he had to come in, he took care of the team. Now, what do you got? You got Greer and you still got Lance. Come on, get real. Get rid of Lance. You don't need him.
Ensuring our success is the signing of the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Look at this.
You got to have somebody because how many times has Dak been hurt?
The biggest hurdle for y'all right now is your owner / GM / president. He quote unquote freed up a ton of money that all he's doing is kicking it down the road. It's going to hurt your cap space in future years for nothing. All he did,
he'll be dead.
But all he did it for was his profit margin this year. If you're not going to use the cap space to sign this, Kevin made this point last week after you left. If you're not going to use the cap space to sign the free agents, to sign people this year, you're wasting the money. There's no sense in deferring it. But all you're doing is hurting yourself later.
But it's funny how players who have left Dallas, Devontae Fowler,
Dexter Lawrence,
that went over there, now's come back. I'm gonna tell you something about Dexter Lawrence that makes me mad. He got on there.
He told the truth?
Well, no. So he told the truth, but he's the guy who come in the NFL about the same time that Seattle was in their last Super Bowls. So you've transferred to go to Seattle, and you talking about, well, y'all ain't gonna win the Super Bowl. Well, you know what? You're not neither.
But the fact that
they lost everybody up there. They lost their quarterback. They lost both of their wide receivers. They lost everybody. But they did sign Kupp. But he's nowhere near the wide receivers that Lockett and Metcalf were.
Yeah.
And both of them are gone.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, where you at right now on who you want to be the quarterback next year?
Well, I mean, I hear anything's better than what we got now. I mean, Kenny Pickett, does he really have a chance to start? I would say no. I mean, I was actually Russell Wilson would be an upgrade to anything we had. I know Stafford's out. I guess what the big surprise was is what's the guy in Atlanta?
Cousins.
Cousins. that they're going to go ahead and eat his $10 million bonus. So now you got to trade for him. You can't they're not going to cut him, and you can get him super cheap on the vet minimum. Right. So that kind of is like, whoa, we expected something different.
That tells me they're not 100% sold on Michael Penix. That tells me that they still.
Or Chip, they think we can get something for him in the trade.
Maybe.
We can get something for him. I don't know how much you can get for him. I mean, I'm not an expert on that, but that kind of screwed us up because we thought this was going to be open and shut.
So what I'm hoping for is that whatever the quarterback situation with the Browns is that halfway through the season it makes Tom miss Jameis Winston. That's my goal for next year.
I know, right?
I will never miss Jameis Winston.
So these fictitious stats these people use on this stuff. This is a fake chart. I want to pull it up. Because and I googled it and I'm looking. I've been trying to find a list of the longest home runs in history, and they basically left the computer system now that's different than what they used to measure with and how they used to do the stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is the basic. Josh Gibson 1, Ruth, Mantle, Jackson, Stargell, Adam Dunn, Tomey, Glenn Allen Hill, Mazzara, and Stanton at 504. Do y'all see Mark McGwire on there?
No.
I walked in my bathroom, which has a Mark McGwire poster on it, with every home run he hit the year he hit 70. I counted 5 500-foot home runs on that chart alone. It took me a few minutes, but I did find the website that this was using and trying to use it as the home run site, and Mark McGwire's not listed on any of that. So whatever you think of him, not listing him or so on it is just ridiculous. McGwire had 10 500-foot measured home runs, starting at 504 foot.
Maybe
was the lowest one I saw.
The stuff to help him.
That is true. Yeah, Adam Dunn and Jim Tomey didn't have anything, or Giancarlo Stanton.
And Gibson and Ruth are allegedly the longest official one's Mantles, from what I've read.
And then the McGwire ones were 538.
I don't even know how you measure it. How do you measure it? How did you measure the length of a home run? Remember Tiger Stadium? You could hit them up on the roof. How do you measure that?
538, 527, 517. Well, Tom, there's some mathematicians that will do that. The old A squared plus B squared equals C squared stuff. And they'll tell you exactly how far that ball
that would be a
perfect
triangle.
The only thing that they didn't that you couldn't do obviously was is the ball still going up? Or is it coming down at 500 feet?
Yeah,
like the one Pujols hit.
Where the apex is?
Like the one that Pujols hit off Brad Lidge.
How'd you know where the apex of that ball is?
Right. The one Pujols hit off Brad Lidge was still going at 500 feet. The other ones may have been.
When Yankee Stadium was built, they installed the first TrackMan ever.
I will put it this way: I have been in the ballpark with Mark McGwire hitting batting practice. He legitimately hit it 100 more feet than other people in batting practice. Yeah. It's not even a thing. Like everybody was standing in the outfield, and he was hitting it over us.
But he could
upper deck.
He could hit it a ton before the steroids.
Right.
I mean,
Correct. So the craziest tickets we had real quick was we were sitting next to the foul pole at Busch Stadium in upper deck. So it's as high as you can go, but I can hug the foul pole.
Yeah.
And in batting practice, he's hitting them past us.
Wow.
And you're just like, that's just stupid, boys.
Yeah. With some buzz, with some hum on them.
All right, we got to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Go ahead, Terry. What you got?
I do want to say one more thing. George Foreman passed away.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, I do want to say that.
Rest in peace.
They do not know. Cause of death has not been released, but he was, I believe, 76 years old. 76. So
we'll talk about him more next week. I had a lot about George Foreman. I like him as a boxer. I think he's underrated, and a lot of people didn't give him the credit.
And a great guy.
Anybody who beats anybody beats Joe Frazier.
Anybody teach my son how to cook, we're good.
That's
All right, boys. See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Shock Joxx every Saturday. KTCBroadcasting.com.